Welcome back to another episode. Happy Saturday, guys. Thank you guys for being here as always. Guys, so it looks like we're going to go over a bunch of stuff. Obviously, we're waiting on Mike. I want to see what Mike has to say about the entire Jazz Inc. Situation. He had a few things to say Thursday when he was in the chat for those who were here. So I want to hear what he has to say about the whole situation that's going on. Also, Brandon should be in at any moment. He was supposed to be on tonight as well. I asked him last minute because I always forget to ask him ahead of time. So he'll be in shortly, guys. And then I think we got a new topic, if I'm not mistaken. So let's use in the chat real quickly while we wait. Let's see. We got Uncarded in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome. Nice to see ya. I'm doing. We got Talia in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome. I'm doing. We have, let's see. We got Joker J in the house. How are you, my friend? Thank you for being here as always. I'm doing. Welcome. We got. It's in our clobbering time. Michael, welcome. How are you? I'm doing. And will soon be now. Now? Now? Soon is now. We got Gilman in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome. I'm doing. Thank you for being here. Congratulations on the win. He already got it. That is awesome. The Jazz Inc. situation with the whole, them making the figure, them, that whole thing, them getting into the 1/6 scale game, directly, not indirectly, like they did with the Vulture figure years ago, right? That figure was a one and done. They never made anything after that. Which is why I say, number one, I will never hold that figure against them as a figure that they ever made, right? Because it wasn't a thing. They made that figure again to show off their capability of making those wings, which they come out beautiful. They're better looking wings than the Toys R Us wings, and I can guarantee you, I don't own it, but the Eternal wings as well. Toys R Us was way better in Eternal, and obviously, if Jazz Inc.'s wings are better than Toys R Us, logically, it'll make it better than, obviously, Eternal. So that's why I will never hold that figure against them. I don't see that figure as a regular 1/6 scale figure anyway, just because it wasn't their thing. Again, they made the figure, for those who don't know, Jazz Inc. made a Vulture figure many, many years ago to show off the wings, right? And so again, the figure is perfectly fine. No complaints with the figure. My figure is, I never even bent the elbow on my figures, just out of fear that because, it looked like something could go wrong. If you look at the leather jacket, because that's another thing, it was a real leather jacket that they gave the figure. It has no creases on the elbows, no creases anywhere because I never even bothered bending the elbow. Again, out of fear of breaking the figure because, the bodies back then were not great by any means. And I can tell you, he did not use a great body by any means. But I'm not saying that the body's crappy. I'm not saying that at all. But I can guarantee you that what he used wasn't top notch. What he used wasn't a true type body, right? Made by Hot Toys. Guaranteed he didn't use any of that. So that's what I mean, right? Obviously, to make a figure like that, you're going to try to use the most basic pieces, components, right? To try to make as much profit as possible. You're not going to spend $150 per Hot Toys body, which is what they go for now. They used to be $49. Now they're $150, $160, depending on where you go, wherever you can find them. And so that's why I was always afraid of breaking that figure. So I never touched it. And then let me see who else is in the chat real quickly before we get started. Brandon, welcome.
How's it going, guy?
He's like, who's that?
I heard the doorbell. I'm like,
Welcome.
how you doing, buddy? Good.
You got not bad. How you doing?
I heard you. I'm okay. I heard you railing. You said the body was crappy. I said, I just want to take a minute to welcome everybody to the InArt Veteran live stream where we tackle all things InArt. We love InArt. They put Hot Toys to shame. Tell us about it, Fabs.
Tell us about it. Oh man, we got Nefty in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome. Thank you for being here as always. Welcome. Let's see who else is in the house. We got Albert in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. Welcome, guys. The Thor in the house. It's a happy belated birthday. So Joker J puts a picture of a cake in the chat today, and we're like, oh, happy birthday. He's like, no, he goes, it's not my birthday. My birthday's in April, but I'll save it for next year.
Oh, dude, happy birthday, Joker J.
He's like, I'll save it for next year, though. Unreal. Unbelievable. We got Bo. How you doing? Welcome, Dark Knight Collectors. Get those thumbs up. Yes, guys, there's 22 of you guys in here. Please hit that like button if you don't mind. I appreciate you guys for being here as always. Thank you. We got Leo in the house. Welcome, my friend. How are you doing?
Talia says, oh no, not again.
Who said what? Oh,
Talia. Yeah, she says, oh no, not again.
Wait, not again? What does he mean?
InArt, me bringing up InArt.
Oh, gotcha. He's like, no. We got Jim in the house. Welcome, my friend. How are you doing? Welcome. Let's see who else is here. For the love of God, please nobody bring up the I word or the J word.
What's the J word? I feel like I missed something there.
Jazz Inc. You didn't watch Thursday's stream? You didn't watch Thursday's stream, Brandon. Oh, no.
It was bad.
Brandon.
Bad me.
No, well, you missed out on the conversation. Well, we're going over it tonight, so you're not going to miss out on anything.
Yeah, no, it was pretty wild. I had to take a couple days. Once we launched the site and everything, I was like, all right, I'm going to take Monday off. And then Monday got out of hand. Monday was just out of pocket. And it was like, okay, Tuesday, I'm going to take a couple days off. Tuesday got out of hand.
Oh, it's just been madness. I mean, it's a good thing, right?
Yeah, no, it's a good thing. I'm definitely not complaining about, having to work and stuff, but
yes, guys, please hit that like button if you don't mind. There's 24 of you guys in here. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Jim, for that. I appreciate it. We got Chris in the house. Welcome, my friend. How are you? Doing? Thank you for being here. Thank you, guys. Let's see who else is in here. We got Brad in the house. Welcome. How are you doing? And then, obviously, because I feel like it's been so long. Let's see. We got Talia says, oh no, not again. He said, oh no, not again. There is a new king and it rhymes with Yaz. This guy's unbelievable. Paul, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Thank you for being here. How you doing? Welcome, guys. Let's see. Is Joker J your burner account? Joker is Oker J. I doubt it. That's weird.
That is a little weird.
I really wanted a quarter for his birthday. A quarter skill go. We got Big Dog in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome. Doing? Woo! Brandon?
Woo! I tried. It was bad. I had a little bit of crack in there.
We got Mad Planet in the house. How are you, my friend? Doing?
Just want to say, anybody who wants to have a woo off, jump in the studio. Let's get it done.
Jump in the studio.
Woo! Woo!
Now this sounds like you're dry heaving. Relax. We got Anthony in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome. Doing? For being here. We got Jim in. Thanks for the figure. Made it safe. Yeah. Also,
nice.
I don't know. Yeah, he got the figure. He posted it, and I shared it in my story. I don't know if you saw it though.
No. I didn't see it.
Okay, yeah, he tagged us though. He tagged
Did
Zappo
he?
like me. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. So if you didn't see it, that's on you because he definitely tagged
I
you.
I decided I decided I'm gonna rebrand the site.
No, you're not.
So, just the brand, just the name.
Why?
But
What? Why? To what?
well, the way your businesses should the proper way to structure them is to have one company that owns the smaller companies. That way you have multiple layers of protection.
Oh, you're
And
talking about.
Zapco has always been, my top level retail company. So I went with that because when people are paying me on PayPal, it always comes up as, zombie
Right.
apocalypse.
Right.
So I always use Zapco. But I had this brilliant idea because I go by the brand DeLorean online, and I thought
Right.
if we changed it to Brandalorian Scrapyard, then I could buy a domain like bscrap.com, right?
Oh, that's
BS crap is
sick.
good. We like
That's
that, right?
sick. That's
So
actually
I,
that's great. Now you just gave away your idea.
hey, yeah, I mean, I meant something else. That's not what I meant.
I gotta go. I gotta go
Yeah,
brand
yeah.
my website right now. We got on Carter. He wants some watermelon. Let's give him some watermelon. I think it's been a while, so he's gonna get everything. Let's give him everything.
Yep. Let's hit him with some watermelon.
Where is he? Where is everything? Come on, come on, come on. Where are you? Where are you? Here we go.
Dude, I want to meet that guy.
Ah, it's so good. It's so good. We got Harold in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Let's see who else is in the house. Let's see who else is in the house. Oh man, we got Chris in the house. How are you, my friend? Being here. We have Nefty. He says, "Attention on deck. Commander Green is present." Attention on deck. Man, we got Jeff in the house. Welcome, my friend. How are you? Guys, this guy on screen right now, he was able to get not one, but two commandos on Sideshow. And I didn't even get one. So I said, "Hey, do you think maybe I could have one of those?" And you know what he said?
What do you say?
How dare you?
No, I passed. I got a waitlist conversion, and I thought, if nothing else, it'll be trade bait. And
Yeah,
then
I
when
didn't even get one. I did the wait list, nothing.
yeah, I figured, okay, it's gonna be decent trade bait. I'll go ahead and grab it. And then as I'm going in to check out and stuff, my Facebook feed starts updating, and I'm seeing everybody is getting waitlist conversions. And I thought, okay, maybe it's not gonna be such good trade bait. I don't know, man. The way that they do those things, I wonder if like they're not telling you that they're only issuing 2,500, but they've actually got like 4,000 of them laying around. There were way too many conversions at one time.
Well, I was going to say specifically with this one, with this commando, there was a lot of conversions that I kept hearing about, which is very weird. But at the same time, I don't think it's weird because I think it's an easy. I mean, it's not a head sculpt figure, right? It's a helmet. Right. So they can make 10,000 and tell us there's 2,000. And the problem is, how do you believe that with the Q? Right? If they make that many, where are they going? Right? They're going to Sideshow, right, for the Q. But then that's pretty much it. So that's what I'm saying. I think the whole trick and the whole reason behind this whole trick is to give Sideshow money, to allow Sideshow to make their money. Remember that without these Qs, everybody was going overseas for their stuff, and that's why Sideshow was dying. Sideshow was 100% dying. Sideshow stopped going to Comic-Cons for that reason. They were losing so much money. So this, and I told you guys this from day one. The moment this started happening and how it went, I knew this is the new beginning. This is the new norm. This is what's going to be happening. And here we are. How many Qs later? It was the common sense to read because it's just a security for Sideshow to constantly make money. And I told you these constant releases that are ready to go, this is going to be happening all the time because of the fact that Sideshow needs their money. So we're going to be getting tons of Hot Toys exclusive branded figures like that Amazing Spider-Man, like that yellow, plastic Iron Man. like stuff like that, like those very, very, rare, random. Again, Hot Toys calls them Hot Toys exclusives for a reason.
Right.
Meaning, what does that? What does Hot Toys exclusive mean? It means there's nobody else out there, no other company making those figures. So that Amazing Spider-Man that they came out with those chrome glasses, it's called the Hot Toys exclusive because you can't find that figure anywhere in the world besides by Hot Toys. That's why it's called Hot Toys exclusive. If it's a Toy Fair exclusive, you could only find it at the Toy Fair. So that's something that they've been doing and they're going to continue to do because number one, it's easy. It's an easy money maker, a limited run. And it's just, again, for the Sideshow side, right? So that's Hot Toy side, easy money. They're reusing stuff constantly. If they want to make a quick buck, they'll just make 2,000, pieces of whatever, right? Whatever cloth, whatever outfit, whatever item. And there's your quick amount of money that they make. And this is the new game. This is what's coming for the rest of time. Let me see. Cassandra, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for being here. How you doing? Welcome. I'm gonna call him Selfish Jeff. Oh man. John Doe, welcome. He says, waiting to put them on NRD on Dark Mode 3.0 was Unbelievable. Let's see. All right, so one thing before we get started, okay? There was something that I came across, and it was kind of upsetting because it has to do with the new Spider-Man figure.
Is this the red and blue?
Yes. And I saw something. I forget who sent it to me or where I saw it, but I saw it. And it was very sad. If anybody knows what I'm talking about and you sent it to me, please send it to me again. I don't remember where I saw it or who sent it to me. Let me find it real quick. We're not going anywhere, guys, so don't worry about it. We're still gonna wait on Mike, and we didn't even get started. But let me find this because it's very, very, very it shows that Hot Toys is kind of, rushing a little bit their stuff, and I don't like it. So let me see if I can find this picture. Oh man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it. Nope, I don't have it. So the picture was it was a picture of the Spider-Man. I believe they were doing the unboxing on it on Sideshow, I want to say. And it looked like the entire sleeve of the Spider-Man rolled down down here. And I was like, what's happening right now? So did you see?
Yeah, where it showed the wrist. It showed like the arm.
The whole arm. It was like all the way down here. So that, if somebody has that picture, please send it to me so I can pull it up. I can't find it. I had it already. And I can't find it. We got Derek in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. So that's the guys. There's 41 of you guys in here. Please hit that like button if you don't mind. I appreciate it. So I want to go over that very quickly because it's very important, right? Hot Toys has made 1 trillion Spider-Man figures by now. Okay, they've made Hot Toys exclusive figures by now. Okay, Spider-Man. Okay, again, that's that Amazing Spider-Man with the chrome eyes. That's a Hot Toys exclusive. They've made, again, tons of Spider-Man figures by now. None of them have that problem. Maybe some of them will go up slightly. They're not perfect, but they're not as bad as this one. So is it only that figure that is happening to? Meaning the one that they showed on the video, or is it happening to everybody's figure? Because that's kind of a turn off, at least for me, right? Again, if it was a new figure that they were coming out with that they never made before, that it was a new figure, that it was, new development, new engineering, new design, new something, right? When I saw the pictures, the promo pictures on Sideshow when it was first announced, the suit looked beautiful, looked completely different, looked gorgeous. Now seeing it up close, now that it's out, it literally looks like every other suit, just different material, literally. And I expected something completely different than what we've gotten already. So that was a little depressing with that figure. The head sculpt looks gorgeous, and I feel like that
Yeah.
is the only thing that's going to make that figure. You can have.
I was gonna say the diorama piece looks pretty good too. The
Oh, no,
snow
no,
capped
correct, correct.
chimney and
But
stuff.
what I meant like if you put him as like with the Spider-Man mask, I think that's a waste of a figure. You know what I mean?
Right, got you.
I think that with the head sculpt on is where he looks great, and I think that's when I get him, that's the way I'm going to display him with the what do you call it, with the head sculpt on, because it's again the fact that we've gotten so many already. Why do I need another one? You know what I mean? Like another masked Spider-Man.
Right.
We get a new head sculpt. Obviously, I'm going to want to show that off. Thank God they gave him a mask, a loose mask to hold. That's all I need. You guys know every other time I would get two of those for the Spider-Man look. It's not necessary for this one, at least for me, right?
Yeah.
The head sculpt is enough. Like I said, if I need another Spider-Man look, I could just look next to it, and there'll be another 6 because I have literally like 8 on one shelf. So that's my point. You seeing this, because I obviously you saw it. How do you feel about that? Again, knowing that Hot Toys has made millions of Spider-Man by now.
It's people say the same thing about Iron Man. They're going to keep producing what sells at the end of the day. You know what I mean? They're going to keep producing what sells. I think Spider-Man always hits hard, especially with the current era of Spider-Man that we have. Like Tom Holland he's just a phenomenal. He's a great Spider-Man. He embodies the character. So I think that, all they got to do is just keep producing them. People will keep buying them. The pictures, I know exactly which picture you're talking about, and that kind of does concern me because I actually started taking a couple pre-orders on that just this week, and so the last thing that I need is for somebody to be unhappy. But so it's bugging me. But I don't know, man. That could also be a prototype. It could be, a one-off. It could be, the somebody who got their figure early and it's a QC issue on just the one. You know what I mean? I'm hoping it's not going to be widespread because that would be a big disappointment.
Absolutely. And thank you, Bob. I got the pictures. We're going to pull them up right now to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about, because it's very, very upsetting, at least for me. For those who think that all I do is defend Hot Toys and blah, blah, blah. No, I do not. We should not be getting Spider-Man figures that look like that at this moment. Again, if it was something that they didn't have experience in, if it was something that they've never done before, if it was something that, that they newly designed, then I understand. Fine. And again, even at this level, I feel like Hot Toys, even when they're trying something new, they're going to, knock it out of the ballpark anyway. Right. So that's how I view everything and anything they do. And I hold them to a completely different standard than anybody else, than any other company. So that's why, oh, it didn't even send. That's why I'm like, what the hell's going on? That's why I go in on them just as hard as any other company. And I go in on them even harder because if I look at them as king, I expect the best from the
king level kit.
Exactly. Not only that, but the type of mistake that this is very lame.
Yeah.
It shows like it's an inexperienced company making this product, and I don't like that.
That's why I'm not too worried about it, to be very frank. Like it's a big enough issue that I can't see that being the mainstream. That would not have gone into production having that kind of a flaw. But then again, we did get a Spider-Man where the eyes were janky, you know what I mean? So, and they had to reissue that one.
Which one?
I don't remember which one it was, but it was, no, it was Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Remember the mask came out and then the eyes, instead of being equal, one was like high and tilted. That was kind of a big deal.
Which figure was that?
Friendly Neighborhood. It was the Tobey Maguire one. And the only reason I know that is because the re-release was so hot. People were all over me for it.
Gotcha. All right, so here we go, guys. I finally was able to pull it up because this computer's trash. So here it is, guys. So thank you, Bob. Um, hold on, let me get out of here. Daniel, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Let me say hello to Daniel real quick. I'm doing. You for being here, guys. There's 47 of you guys in here. Please hit that like button if you don't mind. So here we are. So it looks like, let me get rid of this here. All right. So as you can see, guys, this is what I'm talking about. Again, is this a big deal? Not at all, right? It's really not. Should this be happening? Not at all, right? This is a very rookie mistake. Again, it's only when you fold the arm. So if you're not folding the arm, this is not going to happen. But again, if you're not folding the arm, this should not be happening with Hot Toys. Okay, I understand why it's happening. They didn't what do you call it? The sleeve, right? They left it kind of short. They didn't accommodate the bending because, as you can see, it's all bunched up here. So all it did was roll up. Number two, this smooth plastic body with the new type of material, I can guarantee is not, it's not working properly because the material is probably just sliding so smoothly off of it that's why this is exposed. Why do you think this is happening?
I'm looking at it now and I'm wondering, like, I wish I had the figure in hand right now, but I feel like if you straighten the arm and then you held onto the sleeve at the wrist and then bent it up,
absolutely,
that would be the end of the issue.
But correct. And that's it. And that's an easy fix. And that's exactly what you would have to do so it doesn't look like this. But my point is, at this level of making figures, even though this is a very, very minor issue, I don't think it should be happening. Yeah. And I think it doesn't. It hasn't happened before. Again, because of the material. I feel like the material has been more sticky in the past, where it doesn't necessarily slide.
Sure.
So I feel like that's why it stays. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just going to say that when you look at issues like this and you have them, and especially when you're shelling out so much for a figure, at the end of the day, man, it just comes down to not everybody can be in art. You know what I mean? Not everybody can be on that level. So
nobody said that.
You're gonna.
How dare you?
You're gonna get it all night long, bro. Just so you know.
Now look at this. This is not
yeah.
even. This is not even.
Is that a promo pic though?
I don't know what this is. I don't know.
If that's a promo pic, then then we may have an issue here.
But this is bad. This is very bad. Again, it's an easy fix, maybe. But look, we were talking about the elbow being bent. It's not bent anymore. Right. Now it's slightly bent, but more extended than anything, and it's still happening. So they definitely messed up. And to me, I have a feeling that they're rushing figures because they're making so much. Okay. And I'm not going to say that about all of them, but because of the fact that I'm going to repeat it a bunch of times because it's the only thing that, makes sense. The fact that they've made a ton of Spider-Man figures, and this is happening with the latest one, which
it's a new material.
Exactly. I would expect it to be the best ever made, which it should be. Right? Even with this happening, it should be the best. Obviously, like Brandon said, it looks like it has to be a new material, that it's not working properly with this body. But it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. So now, because now when I get it, I'm going to have a crappy figure that does this. And again, not that it affects me in any way, because either way, you guys know that mine's going to be in museum pose anyway. So it doesn't matter, right? But it shouldn't be happening, is the point. This is not okay. This should not be. And again, I don't even have it yet. And I can tell you, if this happens to mine, I'm going to give it a 0. Because it should not be happening with Hot Toys. Especially after how much we have to, me, right? How much I defend Hot Toys being, and this mistake does not make them horrible. This mistake does not make them the worst. This mistake does not make them, all of a sudden not good enough. No, they're still king. But again, this is not supposed to be happening because this is dumb, stupid mistakes. This is not anything serious. But again, because it's not serious, it shouldn't be happening. That's what I don't like. What do you think, Brandon?
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, I would expect something like this out of a third-party figure. But not Hot Toys. I mean, Hot Toys is where it's at. Why is this happening? But I think we kind of nailed it. They're probably using a whole new material for the
Mm-hmm.
They're using a whole new material for the suit. They're probably trying to do something new and exciting with it. I mean, it says new red and blue, so I'm guessing that this is almost like a reissue of a previously done figure or something. You
Well,
know, because
remember that for No Way Home, you had how many figures? You had,
oh yeah,
you
that's true
had,
too.
right, you had integrated suit, you had
Yeah.
battling suit, you had what was the other one? You had the which was the regular was the battling suit was the next version from the upgraded suit. Then you had the integrated suit. Then this was the last one. So this is obviously the end of the movie. And so obviously again, it's all reused stuff. It's all reused
Hmm.
stuff, but the blue is something that has never been used in combination with the red. That's
Yeah,
the
and
only
you know what's funny is and maybe this is a false equivalency here, but I actually so like there's only one brand of t-shirts that I wear, right? And I noticed that when I
are
treat all
they
my shirts exactly the same,
are they
and the
Fabs
blue
Figures
ones,
brand?
yes, yes they are. Yes, they are, funny enough. No, but I noticed that the blue ones, for some reason, it's almost like they're made out of a different material. They don't feel or look any different, but when I wash blue ones, they always shrink. So now I just don't buy blue ones anymore. I wonder if they had to switch up the type of material
Oh,
they were using
gotcha.
because the color wouldn't stick to whatever they were doing before, or something along those lines. Because yeah, I mean, it's definitely not amateur hour when we're talking about Hot Toys. They've been in
Right,
the game for a minute,
right.
so I think it's got to be something that was completely unexpected. So that's got me wondering whether or not they're going to be reissuing the figure with a correction down the road.
I don't think so. Like I said, this is very minor at the end of the day. I can
Yeah.
guarantee you that the figure, when the figure is completely normally posed. And actually, I'm going to pull up some pictures now. When the figure's perfectly posed, I don't think that that's going to be an issue whatsoever. I don't think that that's going to be. So here are the blogger pictures. I don't think that's gonna see all these pictures
Yeah,
are perfectly
that
fine.
shiny blue. Yeah, that shiny blue definitely looks like something that I haven't seen before.
Correct. It
I
is. It's
mean,
brand new. It's brand new. And the
yeah,
and the and the and the design of it is also brand new. Because we've never gotten that design. But look at all the pictures. That's what I'm saying. It's whoever made that video is, I can guarantee you whoever took all these because look how bunched up it is, and this is not happening
yeah,
here. You know what I mean? So it
yeah,
could be. That's why I said if I get it and mine is like that, we have a problem. It doesn't look like it's all of them, thank God, at least from these pictures. Because look, if it was that horrible, you would
yeah,
see it.
yeah, exactly.
Period. You would see it. Even here, look, slightly bent. Here, completely bent, rolled up, and look, perfectly fine. So
Yeah,
again, it doesn't look like it's every figure. That's why I'm saying I'm shocked that I to even see those figures, those pictures with the figure like that coming from Hot Toys. Again, knowing that this should not be going on with Hot Toys at all. Period. Look how clean that looks. Look how perfect it looks. So that's what I'm saying. See that the mask doesn't really, it's the same generic mask we've gotten with every little
yeah,
single, a Spider-Man figure ever, right? So there's no, again, if you like your Spider-Man to have the mask on, then that's the look for you. But obviously, I want my Tom Holland head sculpt on there, so that's how I'm going to do mine. And just the head sculpt is, looks beautiful, even in hand. Seeing the pictures, it looks incredible. So this is how I plan on having mine. Look at it, how perfect it
yeah,
looks.
with the mask in hand.
So, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Again, it's very surprising for me, very shocking for me to see that coming from Hot Toys because it's not something that it should be happening with them at this level. Again, it's nothing serious, nothing bad, nothing, out of this world that you can't fix because it's very easily, fixed. But again, it looks ugly. You know what I mean? Like Hot
Do
Toys,
we do we know who posed, who took those pictures?
I
Who
don't know.
was it?
I forget. Somebody said, whoever sent them to me originally said it was a Sideshow video. It's a Sideshow video comparison with I guess somebody doing their review, but I don't remember who was who, you know. But
I'm gonna look it up and find out real quick.
look how clean that suit looks, man. That suit looks beautiful. The shine looks beautiful. One thing, that I wish they could figure out how to do better is the stitching. Like all
Yeah,
the
I was kind of funny you bring that up because I was
Bro,
musing about that a couple
and
photos back.
forever. Yeah, no, forever. For this is not the first Spider-Man. Um, the stitching, it always looks worse on one side because they gotta sew it through on one side. Like when you put the body in, then you gotta sew it on one side. So apparently they always leave one side open. So that's why the stitching always looks more rough on one side
on one side than the other.
Right. It's usually they open it like all here to shove the figure in.
Mm-hmm.
But the stitching, I feel like it looks messy sometimes. It doesn't look so clean sometimes. But look, completely bent, nothing showing. So again, guys, I just went in on Hot Toys, but it doesn't look, again, it's not a serious problem. I can guarantee you not everybody's going to have this problem unless you try to force it and look for the problem. And if you do, if the sleeves do roll up, guess what? Just slide them back down.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a permanent thing. You know what I mean? I love
the
new envelope too.
We got a lot of really great poses in these photos, and I'm not seeing it a whole lot. So I think it's gonna be fine.
Exactly. And now look at here too. Look at that. Completely bent, rolled up, and look, nothing.
Yeah.
So like
there's a tad bit. You can see the wrist peg slightly, but I love that they went with the red arms.
On every Spider-Man. On every Spider-Man, you can see the pegs. Literally. Every single one. So, that's why it's not a big deal. But look at that head sculpt. I love the hair.
Oh yeah, man. I love all of it. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah. And the symbol, the logo, my God.
Better than what I was just thinking about is like we're okay, if you kind of put this, like let's unpack this a little bit. So superhero, spandex outfit, icon on the chest. Like it's kind of bad. Like that's crazy. You would never see anything like that in real life. It's just absolutely just wild and crazy. Right? But like we live in a time where they are making movies about characters that wear their underwear like this, right? Effectively. Okay. And then they, Batman's got a bat symbol, Superman's got a giant S, you know what I mean? Like all these different things, but we get great stories out of them. We get great movies. We get awesome special effects. Like what a time to be alive, man.
Yep. No, it's crazy. This is the best everything out of life right now that we're living. You know what I mean? The best and the worst. Literally. But yeah, see? Oh, look, here it is. So this was the one I just showed. So this was a promo. Yeah. Guys, so it was
a promo pic.
No, not a promo pic, a blogger pic.
Right.
So it's a blogger pic. So this is so this is a little crazy. So I understand why this is happening. Once you lift the shoulder up above his head, you're really pulling the material. So that I get, right? So then that means that the other one's got to be here too. So here he looks perfectly fine. So the other one, see here, he looks perfectly fine.
I want to know how that pose works. Like they've got to have him, like they got to have him suspended by a line or something, right? Like you can't balance the figure like that.
This is Photoshop. This is not like, this figure would never stand on its own like this.
Right. Wouldn't that be cool though?
Absolutely. If you how would be able to do this with magnets? If they
in art? Oh. I meant that genuinely, by the way.
In art. No, if they can figure out how to do, magnets with the hands, but the problem is, how is the hand gonna hold up this entire weight? You know what I mean? So that's the only thing. But can they do it? Of course. But these poses are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is when you know that the body is, a Spider-Man body when you do stuff like this. Look at that. I can't wait for oh no, they did it. The Amazing Spider-Man with the arm with the webbing in the armpit,
Oh yeah, that one.
But look at that. If you were a Marvel fan, would you want this in your collection?
In a heartbeat. And I mean, I am a Marvel fan. I just I don't even have the room for the collection that I have. You know what I mean? Like something's got to give. It's funny because we're building we've got the plans done and we are planning to build a movie theater over the garage because we've got a spare. We got a couple 800-900 square feet up there that we can use, and so like I buy with the idea that when the movie theater goes up, I'm going to have an entire wall dedicated with cubes, dedicated to displaying my collection. So it's like I don't even have room for the figures that I've got. That's why the majority of them are still in their boxes. It's wild.
And when you pose your figures, you lose a lot of space too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Bob says haters say it's Photoshop. Bob, if it's not Photoshop, let's do this. Let's do a challenge live, guys. We're doing the challenge live. Okay. So Bob, let's make Bob show us that this is possible. So Bob, grab your closest Spider-Man figure. I'm going to pull up the pose. recreate the pose without Photoshop, and then take a picture quickly because I know it's going to tip over. So try to hold it up enough. Try to make sure it holds itself up long enough for you to take the picture. Send it to me very quickly, and then we could debunk that this is right here. I found it. Here it is. We'll debunk that this is Photoshop. So you got exactly. Exactly. Can you imagine? My God. He said haters. Unbelievable. If Jazz can do this guy, unreal. Some look like a Mezco. Punisher, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Thank you for being here.
I'm doing.
Welcome. Bob. So we're gonna get to the next topic, guys. I feel like Spider-Man needed to be scolded real quickly before we continue. Yeah, no, that's just how dare you. That's kind of sad. That's very, very sad that we have to talk about rolling, sleeves rolling down because of whatever reason. Now, Brandon, we know, okay, we know that you are definitely expecting some of these, okay? So let's get to it. So which ones are you expecting? Which one are you getting? Which ones are you not getting? And what do you want to be released first? And I feel like the first one that was released, what did we get already? We didn't get any of these yet. Nope. Go ahead.
So, just in the realm of Star Wars, well, there's a little bit to unpack here. First and foremost, I think I'm probably most excited. Me personally, I think I'm most excited for the Imperial Praetorians. I love that their weapons are you can mix and match the pieces to give them variety. I don't have anybody that I've taken pre-orders from, including myself, that have less than 3 on order. Like nobody's doing ones, nobody's doing twos. Everybody reaches out and says, "I need to put 3 of these on pre-order." You know what I mean? I'm like, no problem. They're firing off. So I'm really looking forward to that because especially the Praetorians in Last Jedi,
Yeah.
I wanted to like those so bad, but like I'm so salty over what Rian Johnson did to the film that I can't get behind them. I've got one here and I don't want to let it go. I don't want to sell it, but I can't buy into, any Last Jedi stuff. It's such a terrible story. But so I'm most excited about those ones because you're going to have an extreme amount of variety that you can do with those figures. And I can see the customizers getting a little wild with it, maybe doing something with the helmets to distinguish them a little bit further. 89 Batman, I think, is going to be a sleeper figure. I'm looking forward to that one. That one I do have coming.
Wait, when you say sleeper, what do you mean by that?
Sleeper, meaning that it's quiet right now, but when it hits, it's going to hit hard. Like it's going to be a very popular figure, even though there's not a whole lot of hype around it right now. I mean, there's some hype, sure, because there always is. But people aren't freaking out yet, and I think they're going to.
You have to realize that there is an entire group of collectors that came in years after that first release. So they've been waiting. Obviously, you got tons that overpaid on eBay just to get the figure because who knew how long they were going to wait to make it, to remake it again, right? So a lot of people bit the bullet and said, you know what, let's get this.
Yeah, and I think that one's going to be a big hit. I was born in '82, so I was 7 years old when Batman came out, and that was the first time I ever ditched school. My dad showed up and he took me out, and we went to go see Batman together. So there's quite a bit of sentimental value.
So it's funny you mentioned that. I'm going to tell you why. Ram, how are you, my friend? Welcome. So when Batman came out, I don't know if you remember this, but at the same time, and they were playing at the same time at that specific movie theater when I was a kid, when my dad took me, and it was Batman and Dick Tracy. So
Tracy.
Yep. So my dad goes, What movie you want to go see? Batman or Dick Tracy? So I was planning on seeing both. I was like, I want to see both. He's like, no, you got to pick one. I was like, Batman. So I'll never forget that because to this day, I never watched Dick Tracy.
Really?
Not once.
Oh man.
I don't know what. I mean, obviously, like I had the Nintendo game, but I never saw the movie ever. ever.
Dude, I wonder if it holds up. It's got to be 20 years since I've seen it, but yeah, I wonder if it holds up. Maybe that'll be something to do tomorrow. So watch Dick Tracy.
I don't even know
But
where to find it. Who's streaming it?
yeah, I know, right? The other thing about this is that if they're gonna reissue 89 Batman, I really hope they're gonna reissue the 89 Joker too, because I think they could do it, and they could if they reissued the figure, they could play off of the diorama piece they have here in the deluxe and do something that complements it. Almost like you could have the two diorama pieces put together to make a scene.
Right.
I think it would be really great if they did something like that, because the pinnacle of that entire film was at the end when he's dancing with Vicky Vale. Joker's dancing with Vicky
Correct.
Vale,
Correct.
and he delivers that line. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? And then they're in the pale moonlight. Like, that's why it was so iconic. So
Right.
I feel like if they went this route with the diorama piece, that they could reissue the Joker and continue that theme. And then, I mean, I don't think we'll see it happen, but then can you imagine a Vicky Vale being released in that half ripped apart white outfit that she was wearing at the end? Gosh, I think it'd be amazing. That would be a hell of a display. It would be phenomenal.
So go ahead.
So far as my favorite cigar band, I'm gonna go with Arena Fet, I think.
You're just getting Groot.
Yeah. No, but
I'm just getting Groot.
But no, I think there's something about the Arena Boba Fett, that cigar band specifically, that is just so intimidating. Maybe it's because his armor's in all black, but like, I feel like he's looking at me, and you kind of get that. Like, a lot of the poses you get in the cigar bands are kind of just like scenic or momentary glances in another direction. But with Arena Boba Fett, like, he's armed and ready, and he's looking right at you. So I think, so far as favorite cigar bands, that's mine.
You guys, hold on. I have kangaroo. So listen to this. So this is Derek. Okay. Says, "Damn, I'm going to be broke. I'm going to be broke." Right. And then he says,
I didn't realize that was the same person both times.
Yikes.
So,
do you wonder why, Derek? He's got everything coming, and he's
hey,
like,
you know
"I'm
what,
gonna go broke."
Derek? Okay, so this is a free lesson for anybody paying attention. This is my favorite line. This is the line that closes the deal every time. But I'll tell you right now, Derek, it's only money, bro. We're gonna make more.
Yeah,
It's only money.
Yo,
It's only money.
You know what's crazy? I think of it the same way. I'm like, money comes, money goes. It is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Yo, that's how I think of it too.
And at the end of the day, man, why do you work so hard? Why do you work so hard if you can't have the things that you enjoy? Nothing exceeds like excess. Do it. I mean, when you've got, of course, you got to have the important stuff taken care of first. But
Yeah.
it's like there was an illustration that I saw. One of my professors, actually, when I was in college, lifted it from somebody else, I'm sure. But he had this jar, right? And he took all the like a whole handful of little pebbles and dropped them in, and then poured sand on it. And then he was trying to fit bigger pebbles in the jar, and you couldn't do it. But when you put the big pebbles in first, and then you put the little pebbles, and then the sand fills in all the air gaps all the way down, everything fit in the jar.
Oh, I
So
saw
get the important
that.
stuff.
I saw that.
Yeah, right.
you
Like,
they were like,
that's real deal life knowledge.
yes, you had a bowl, and they were like, how to fit everything in, and everything fit
Yeah.
in a specific order, though.
Yes, in a specific order. So,
Yep.
go get the important stuff taken care of first, and then forget it. It's only money, bro. We'll make more.
What's Fabs?
So what else do we got up here? We got the I call him Padawanakin. Padawanakin is going to be that one's going to hit hard too. I really feel that one, because the other point, the other bit on that fig is that it looks like it's the same body that they used on the Clone Wars Anakin. So I got a feeling you're going to be able to head swap, like with if you used a knockoff Revenge of the Sith head, which the knockoffs are out there.
Right.
But you could totally use the outfit and the body on that one to do like a dark side Anakin. So I think that one's going to be a big hit. I hate that I didn't order more of them than I did.
You think you're going to get a bunch of orders? Yeah.
Oh, dude, I've already got people I've had to turn away for like 2.5 weeks now because
Oh,
I'm completely sold out on them. Even after the markup, after they went waitlist and everything else, like it's a hot figure, but it's just a shame. People went ahead, they waited, but I think they're starting to learn now that there's no such thing as in stock anymore. It's all
right.
going away.
Exactly. Now
That's
question for you.
oh,
Which one of these fit? Oh, what? Go ahead.
I got excited because I saw the purple helmet down by Vader's feet. So
Yeah, right here.
That's Return of the Jedi 40th.
Yep.
I'm kind of lit about that one. I think that I think the electrocuted head is a little gimmicky, but I get why they had to do something fresh and new. But the base that he stands on, you can't really see it in that photo, but the base that he stands on is great, and it's similar in vein to the one that they're releasing the new Sidious with. And
Right.
I really like those bases because I feel like we're getting hurt a little bit. One of the mainstream complaints that
Wait.
we
Which bases? Those gear looking ones? Those clock gear looking ones?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because I feel like we're being heard, Fab. They went ahead and we've been complaining for so long that every base we get is just cookie cutter. I can't.
Right.
I got a drawer I could open and show you that's full of bases right now. You can't even tell what character they come from because they're all exactly the same. And I mean, yeah, I get it because they're mass produced and whatnot. But the other thing is too is that those bases are wide enough that they take up a lot of space. Believe it or not, they look small, but once you get like 6 or 7 of them, like they take up a lot of space. So these ones feel like they're smaller and more compact, and they're giving you a way to display your figure without taking up a ton of space. I mean, dynamic poses are always going to take up more space. So, but
Right.
I'm very much looking forward, especially because the deluxe comes with that one where you can display both of the helmets. I think that's absolutely wonderful. I'm looking forward to that one quite a bit.
Chris, how are you, my friend? Welcome. So, question for you, Brandon. Since obviously you don't get everything, you don't collect,
I'm not a
Marvel.
real collector.
Not a real collector. How do you feel? So in order, okay. Tell us,
Mhm.
tell us your least favorite release that's coming out, and tell us your favorite, the one that you're really really looking forward to.
I feel kind of janky. Like I feel kind of like I'm doing somebody ill commenting on this, but the Avatar figures I kind of don't care for, and I really like Avatar. I haven't seen the new one, Way of Water, or whatever the sequel was. I
Yeah.
haven't seen that one, but I tell you, I absolutely loved the first one. I just didn't make it to the theater for that one for the second one. But
Yeah.
I just I love the property. I love the story. I don't feel like it needs figures. I feel like merch on that one is just kind of lost. Let it be good stories. So I think what I'm least interested in is the Avatar ones. I mean, I enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy, but I'm not like super hot on any of that stuff. Kang, I don't want to comment on because I feel like I see a lot of people who are excited for him, but I kind of can't even care less. I never saw a lot of the Phase 5 stuff. I haven't seen or paid any attention to because it's all been so terrible.
Right.
Um, I think Jane Foster's Thor is kind of neat. I like the idea because there was that was a story that they did in the comics and things like that. And not that I was ever really heavy into Thor when I was a kid,
Right.
but I think it's a great concept. The gender swapping thing doesn't bother me if there's a story behind it. And from what I understand, that one was told pretty well. The
What about
Centurion
this guy?
armor. Oh yeah, I didn't even see him back there.
I know.
That I think's pretty neat. I feel like that's a teaser for what we're going to see in the new Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, the one that's going to have Venom in it, because those are the legs that come off of his suit. The kill mode or whatever he calls that. The legs that jump out and
Yeah,
save him from
the
certain
spider
death
leg.
every time.
But
Yeah.
remember, does he still have those legs in the? Because remember now he's got the blue suit, so those legs are gone.
Oh yeah, they could be gone too. But didn't he design his own suit though in the last movie on the airplane with Happy? Didn't he
Well,
design
that
a
was
suit that the
well,
nanoparticles?
that was the upgraded suit, which became the
Oh,
battling suit in No Way Home, which then he got the
okay.
nanotech on, which became the integrated suit. But
Right,
remember
but now we're going back to basics.
that only happened because he had the the Iron Man suit on, the
Right.
Iron Spider suit. That's the
Yeah.
only suit that had the legs.
Okay.
Right, the
So
integrated. I
then
don't remember it having legs.
Right. So okay, so maybe that's not a teaser for what we're gonna get in the movie. I think it's super, super neat. Anything to do with the symbiote, I think is great. Like that was just brilliant storytelling through and through. Like the way it adapted. Of course, it tweaked and twisted the personality of whomever was wearing it or hosting it at that point.
Right.
But like the whole thing with Eddie Brock was this weightlifter and he was this
That
raw
was the
kind of guy in the
cartoon. That
first
was the
place.
cartoon. Yeah.
Right. And then
Yeah.
it amplified that out of him. I thought
Yep.
was brilliant because
Yep.
it was always like, okay, like that's my only complaint about the Tom Hardy movies is that they didn't really honor that because I thought that was the best version of Eddie Brock was that that gearhead gym rat type of Eddie because the symbiote just takes that personality and like hits it with a megaphone and drives it up.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that's why we get this really ripped massive Venom all the time and he's like
Correct.
and he's wired out of his head all the time and I think it was really really great. So
But one thing
uh
I feel like they did that on purpose because for these movies specifically, he's supposed to be an anti-hero, not a villain.
Right.
You know what I
And
mean?
that's the other thing I feel like I'm kind of irritated with over the last 15 years or so is that rather than letting the bad guy be the bad guy, they're having to make them into
Correct.
anti-heroes. Like
Well,
I hate like here we go. I'm gonna let me take
well,
the
before
glasses off
before you
here.
before you get
Oh,
going,
okay. All right.
the
No,
one
no.
thing I was gonna say was remember the video game on Super Nintendo Maximum Carnage?
Maximum Carnage.
So they went that route with Venom because remember Venom was good helping Spider-Man to defeat I mean
Right.
not good, but
Right.
he became friendly with Spider-Man to defeat Carnage,
Carnage.
which is where they're headed with the new Spider-Man movies and Venom.
That's kind of what I figured too.
Right.
So yeah, I mean I can get behind it. And I'm not saying Tom Hardy's a bad Venom. I'm just saying that I would have liked to see like if we get this big hulking Venom that's like swole incorporated, then I mean I feel like we need to be able to tell the story of why he's that way, but then he's like slim and agile when he's attached to when the symbiote's attached to Peter Parker.
Right.
But I think it's a great figure though. Always a fan of the Black Spider-Man. It just works.
You know the video game though, right? This is from a video. You know this is from a video
Oh,
game.
is it?
No,
No,
this
no,
is
no.
so this is from the PlayStation 5 Spider-Man 2 video game. So
Got
this
it.
is
Yeah, I
where,
know that collecting outfits is a big deal in that game.
well, remember they just came out with that Advanced Suit 2.0 with the legs, and
Okay.
they came out with Miles Morales 2.0. Remember just recently, Hot Toys came out with those figures. So these are all from that video game, from Spider-Man 2 video game. So what's happening is they've been making, this is going to be figure number 3, and then we get a red Spider-Man with red legs also coming soon.
Saw that one.
That
Yeah.
one looks gorgeous as well. I mean, it's going to be a reuse of everything. It's going to be, even though those legs look slightly different than these and the other ones that were out already,
Sure.
everything's going to be just a repaint, reuse of everything. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
how many of these figures can you really have in your collection with legs on? You know what I mean? Unless you only
Yeah.
have a certain amount of figures, you're not going to have room for all these legs. You know
Dude,
what I mean?
so I met a collector. I met a collector who bought from me recently. He's like, "Yeah, man, I got a huge collection," and I'm thinking Fab's huge. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, this guy's probably got a couple hundred characters or whatever it is. And it turns out like he had 2 detolfs, and I'm like, bro, that like you know what's funny is like I instantly felt guilty because I'm like, oh my gosh, did I just hold a measuring stick up to this guy? You know what I mean? Like did I just compare pans? But no, it's just it's funny to me, man, because you can absolutely get away with having a small collection. Like you can have a couple of these figures with the legs and with the bigger displays, like Vulture is another one with those massive wings, or Captain America. Like if that's your bag, if that's your speed, if you're looking at Sam Wilson as Captain America and you love him, like it's totally fine to have a collection of just 3 or 4 or 5 figures and then display them as out there and as wild. You know, it's great. Like I feel like we get into this idea that it's almost like a race to have more figures than the guy next to you. At least I did for a moment there.
Right.
And but man, I've seen some really great displays that only had 5 or 6 figures in them. It comes down to how much effort.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I've always said that. I've never said you need to have a certain amount of figures to have your collection look nice or look good or look anything. Absolutely not. I've always personally loved the 1 figure per detail shelf look. I think that looks super classy. I think that looks super gorgeous. Obviously, depending on how you display it, how you pose it, how you have it, right? That matters. But I've always loved that look. I've never said, oh, you need a bunch of, because what happens is when you have too much, they get lost and you don't really get to to
Yes.
destroy them as much. You know what I mean?
That's
You have
exactly
them.
what I was going to say.
Yeah, you
That's
have them, but
exactly
they
where I
get
was
lost.
going with that.
Yeah, they get
Yeah,
lost.
because I know guys, and again, the way you want to collect is the way you want to collect. Nobody's got a right to
Correct.
come down on you for it.
Correct.
You know, but I see guys sometimes. I've seen collections where, they'll have 8 feet of shelves, right, and then just an entire wall taken up, and every figure is in there straight up and down in a museum pose. You know what I mean? It's like wax figures, and it's like I don't want to like. That's not how I do it.
Wait, it sounds like
I was the kid.
it sounds like you're talking shit about me on my own show.
How dare you?
Is that how you do it? I can only see barely back there, but no, it's funny to me because like
he's like, is that how you do it?
but like
Absolutely
when I was
not.
playing with GI Joes as a kid, like we were digging holes in the backyard and filling them with water from the garden hose, and we were playing in the mud and all that kind of stuff. So when I get these figures open after I sniff and I get a good whiff of that Hong Kong air, like I immediately start bending things and tweaking things out of shape. And it's funny because I do so much work obviously in the buy sell trade groups, and guys are like, it's been in the pose you see him in now for the last year and a half. And I'm like, bro, I get why you're not in love with the figure anymore. It's because you never played with them.
Right.
It's like if I show you my 501st shelf right now, like Jesse is, you know what I mean? Like he's throwing a thermal detonator, like he's ready to go. Knees are bent.
I thought you were gonna say he's doing the Heisman.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Maybe I should change him up.
That's not a bad idea. But look, Brad says Sony just reversed the story because no Spidey. I can tell you this about Brad. Brad knows absolutely nothing about nothing. He knows nothing about figures. He knows nothing about hot toys. He knows nothing about inert. He knows nothing about nothing. But comics, Brad is king when it comes to comics. And that I can guarantee, or your money back. He has
say it again.
I didn't say nothing. He has a lot. He has a ton of comics. And I know this because I follow him and I see his posts all the time. So that 100%, anything that comes from Brad regarding comic books, that's Bible to me. That's gospel to me. That's 100% taken to the bank. When he says in art anything, hot toys anything, Jasmine anything, he is completely muted. He is muted out of my life. Okay. So
I'll be impressed if Brad can tell me anything about the Age of Apocalypse, what year that the run went, and how many issues wide it was. Then we can talk.
Don't test him. Don't test him. Don't test him. Tony P, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
I'm doing.
Thank you for being here. Guys, there's 46 of you guys here. Please hit that like button if you don't mind, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Tony P looks like he's going to salt my steak to perfection. Look at that profile picture, bro. Like
Salt Bay?
Yeah, man. I like that. Smooth.
He said finally.
I noticed he's the watermelon man. I love that.
What were you saying? Finally what?
He said finally instead of saying, well, geez, Brandon, the Age of Apocalypse ran from the summer for 4 months of the summer in 1994. There were 7 lines with 4 issues apiece, with 1 comic to open and 2 to close the entire timeline. Wow. And that recently Marvel went back and revisited it with an anniversary run that lasted. Come on, bro. I thought you knew comic books.
Oh my God. Brandon just said,
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Oh my God. Brandon, he said, no, don't test him. I know. Exactly.
I was gonna say, Fabs, you got to stop picking on Brad. I'll tell Cassandra, and it's all over for you, bud.
He said, don't test him. She said, don't test him.
Cassandra's gonna beat you with her crutches.
No, I'm telling you, I know Brad knows his comics. Like I said, I look at the posts all the time when he posts, so I know he's got that knowledge there. But when it comes to hot toys,
don't listen.
All I have to say is,
I don't think so.
All right, so Brandon, how many of these 40th are you getting? Vaders are you getting? The 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi.
For my collection, just one.
Yeah, okay. You're not displaying both head sculpts?
No, I don't do that, man. You
Oh,
know,
you don't?
I want to tell myself it's because I don't have the space. But honestly, I've already considered ways to display all 19 Boba Fett's or whatever it is because I love Boba Fett as a character. But you know, it's like it's going to be turntable, different poses, slowly rotating. You know, like a 5-minute spin or something like that. You know, so I could see. Gosh, I hope my wife's not watching. I'm going to make a comment here, but
Like,
I could see having two of a few of these figures just to display head sculpts and stuff. And yeah,
that is so funny. I'm crying right now. So guys, I'm going to tell you something about this whole picture here. The one figure that I'm least excited for now, even though it's on pre-order, it's this guy right here.
I was about to get to him too. I was gonna say, you know, I commented about the Avatar figs, but I think that standing armor. Gosh, what were we thinking? Man?
I thought, you know, I pre-ordered. You know, I always pre-order everything, especially during that time when this was announced. But one thing that did it for me was, number one, I get everything Iron Man, right?
Right.
There's not one Iron Man that I don't own besides a very, very old one. A gunmetal one, a Mark III gunmetal one that I could never go near because it was like $2,000. It was a very limited figure, and if you look at it now, you'd be like, "Why do you even want to bother with it?" Just because, you know, I need it in my collection. That's why. But so that's the only one I'm missing that, you know, that I would want. So this here, obviously, you know, having everything Iron Man, I'm like, oh, definitely need this. But now it's like, it's just literally, it's not even a power pose. It's a statue with opening compartments. That's it.
Yeah, dude. I can't really get behind that, man. Like I want to support it. Hey, look, if you're the one guy out there that's like, bro, watermelon, I can't wait for this armor. Great, man. I'm glad you're getting exactly what you want. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Cassandra has something to say to you.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Like there have been times like my wife will get on me. She's like, "Hey, you didn't send me the link for the show this time," and I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry about that." And then she'll come at me later, like she found it herself, and she'll come at me later. So you said this about the show, like how serious were you? And I'm like,
it's like, I'm never serious. I always lie on the show, duh.
she's like, so are you really gonna break your rule? Are you really gonna collect Final Fantasy VII figures? Really?
Break your rule?
No.
Oh my god.
No, I'm no, wifey, of course not.
Savon, how are you, my friend? What are you doing? Says there's also
actually, you know where I'm going to be really screwed is if she ever figures out that rule that us husbands have, where we'll buy a figure and then like just shove it in the back of the closet, and then when she breaks it out and says, "Oh, honey, look at this," you're like, "Oh yeah, I bought that a long time ago." It's
absolutely.
You know, oh, I totally forgot that. I must have gotten a great deal. That's the only. Bro, if she ever figures that out, I'm done for.
And then we have what was the other thing? So we're gonna talk about this, Brandon, and I know that you like this topic. You're gonna like this topic.
Hey, who's at the door?
Hey, Michael, welcome.
Hey.
Actually, this is perfect timing because we're gonna get your rebuttal on yesterday's information. So not yesterday, Thursday. So let's see. Let me pull it up because we were gonna go into the Batman bat armory thing. But now that Michael showed up, let's get his take since he had a lot to say that Thursday.
Yeah, I was working late, so I'm like, you know what? I'm sitting here typing bullshit, and I'm like, you know what? Let me put something on while I'm working here, and then I see you crapping on Juiced. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta say something now.
He's like, then I see you talking smack on him. But we're gonna
get even said anything. I bet you made me.
No, but here we go. So we're going to get into this. Obviously, you know, Brandon, that's for you too. But let's start with Michael. Michael, so, you know, regarding the figure, the fact that they're getting into figures, number one, how do you feel about that? You know, Jazzing getting into figures, knowing that they've, you know, been doing dioramas, vehicles forever. Obviously, they did that Vulture that we know about. That's the only figure that I know of that they've ever made. as far as I've been around, that's the only one that I own from them. So how do you feel about them getting into figures, number one? How do you feel about the figure that they chose to do, as their very first figure, licensed figure at least? And then we're going to get into the whole illegal comment after that.
Okay. I don't see this as them getting into figures. Okay. They're doing one.
So
right?
Well, wait a second.
Wait,
InArt started with one, and they're killing it.
Wait, so you're saying that this is, to you, this is only one as of now?
Right now, yeah. No, it's two because they did Vulture.
Well, no, that doesn't count.
So
they're doing a double pack. They're doing a double pack.
Two.
Yeah, they're doing a double pack of this.
Two.
So this is going to be two, but the Vulture you can't count.
So I guess you can't say they're getting into figures plural because this is two.
Wait a second? Does that say cat litter display base?
Yes. Because she's gonna lay in it.
No, bro, let's not do that.
So now, all right. So Michael, now, again, you love the company, right? You love the company. You love the product. You have the Bat computer on pre-order, which is, how much is it?
Look at. I don't love the company. Okay, I don't hate the company. Like somebody we know, I don't hate them.
I don't either.
Okay. Guys, can you believe he said he didn't say it with a straight face? So
no, because I know you.
I don't either.
No, but you really believe that I do. I really don't. That's why I laugh.
Guys, type hate in the chat if you think Fabs hates juice.
Type hashtag hate if you want a free Shaquille O'Neal from Brandon.
Hate them. I don't know why. I get it why. You're 66 Batmobile. Paint swirl in your 66 paint.
Oh my god, that's horrible. All right, so
hashtag hate.
Let's get into the figure. How do you feel about the figure? If just from what you see, obviously that's all we got.
Haven't seen nothing yet. They showed off the stuff from the guys they're using. They haven't showed off any of their work they've done yet.
Correct. Right. So that to you is not even exciting, right? That's just whatever.
No, exactly. Look, you guys touched on this, right? The reason he was forced into this announcement, and he's annoyed. I get where
he's annoyed.
Well, what do you mean? You don't think that's what's happening?
No. I'm just saying.
Why do you say
his hand was forced to make this announcement because another company, another third party, or I don't even know who it is, right? Whoever was announcing that Catwoman.
No, it was Eternal.
Okay, so it's some third party company, right? That whoever they are, right?
Yeah,
announced that they were doing a Catwoman,
right?
And since he has the license, right now he has the DC worldwide license for 1/6 figures. He's like, I gotta jump on this now. I can't let this company get away with taking probably a 30% market share of people who would buy my figure by just sitting back and letting these guys say nothing.
So educate me on this a little bit, because you got a valid point. If he's got the license and the third party company is producing the figure, I mean, can he just hit him with a C&D and close that issue?
Of course you can, but they are in, let me say it again.
Oh, they're in China. Yeah, I get it. Got it.
He's like, China.
They rip everything off in China.
That's the Trump China. I hear that.
Stuff, but like
China.
You guys are insane.
So, you know what I mean? Like, how many different chamois are out there now because it was made in China?
Chamois.
They're scummy over there. They will steal from their own mother and sister to make a buck. It's just that's in their you can't get mad at me for saying it. It's in their goddamn culture. It's who they are.
Oh my god, that is hilarious. Seriously, every time I see Brad's handle, I want to spell it out. The NASCAR race. AB, welcome. How are you? Thank you for being here. Happy Saturday. Welcome.
Look, I'm surprised Fabs doesn't get it. Well, I think he does get it, but I'm a business owner, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would, if I had my business owned that license, and you came out and you're using something that I paid for. No. But so
correct. Absolutely. Nobody's.
That's why he jumped the gun, right? I feel like he said, we got to get out there, guys. We got to make an announcement. We got to. And it's earlier than we want to do this, but we got to do it.
Right. No, that makes sense. AUB, welcome. So my point is this. My point is, not that he has to announce the figure early because of the third party. My issue was, and I feel like everybody's issue was that being, or coming from being an illegal company themselves, just like everybody else until they get their first license or licenses, it wasn't an issue for him when he was illegal his entire career until a couple of years ago, right? So the thing was, it's like, and you should know better than anybody out there coming from that world, which is illegal, right? You have to start somewhere, and nobody ever gave him a hard time. Him specifically. Nobody gave him a hard time about being illegal. In fact, everybody supported his illegal vehicles, illegal figure.
Stop. You don't think anyone gave him a hard time? What are you talking about? Like, didn't Hot Toys like jump down his throat and try to cancel his stuff when he announced something, and then like Hot Toys would say like, "Hey, we're gonna tease this Batmobile because Juice just announced that he was, gonna do it."
I don't know if that happened, but if that were the case,
that did happen. That did happen.
Okay, fine. If it did happen, and Hot Toys had such a strong pull, like you're saying, how come they're still alive? Wouldn't you think that Hot Toys would have shut them down completely by now?
No. Look, Hot Toys did that, and I don't think they actually ever. If I'm correct in this, I don't think Hot Toys ever came out with the product. Like they came out like with a kind of a tease to be like, "Hey, just to remind you who we are, Juice. You know what I mean? We could make this at any time and ruin you."
Right.
You know what I mean? So
you're saying it was like
you're trying to say because Juiced didn't have the license before, now that he does have that license, that he should shut up and not say anything and no. No.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
He was so in the right in saying something.
No, he could say whatever he wants. The point is,
he is so in the right in saying something. If you own that license, Fabs, you would have said the same thing.
If I own the license, knowing that I came from being illegal my whole business career, my whole life being in business in the 1/6 scale community, the last thing I would say is start off my sentence with the illegal company forced us to do this. I would never, because that would make me a hypocrite, knowing that my entire
a hypocrite and a bad business person. That look at you. No way. I am protecting I paid up for that DC license. I'm protecting it.
Correct. Absolutely. You can protect it all you want. The problem is by saying that somebody else is illegal when you have been that your entire from day one, you've been illegal.
They're illegal.
Again, correct.
They don't have a license, so they're illegal. What do you say wrong?
Eternal Toys is still illegal right now. Correct.
Eternal Toys is illegal.
Correct.
Mars Toys is illegal.
Correct.
So Toys is illegal.
Jazz Inc. just happens to not be illegal as of 2-3 years ago. But the past 10, at least, that they've been around, they've been illegal.
Okay, Jazz Toys is illegal. I mean, Jazz Dioramas do they have the Star Wars license? I don't even know if they have the Star Wars license. They have the DC license, I think.
Who? Jazz?
Jazz.
They only have DC and that's it.
Right. So technically their Star Wars stuff is technically not
literally illegal. Everything.
Right.
Even correct. So that's the point. They come out attacking an illegal company.
Not the point. Okay. He's got the DC license, Bozo. He's got the license.
He's got the license. He's still making bootleg Star Wars shit. That's the point.
What you guys are totally missing is that InArt
owns that.
Absolutely outdoes it. InArt is where it's at. Sorry, I don't know the Jazz Inc. history, so I'm just going to throw InArt in there.
It out. And they are legal. He's got every right because he owns the goddamn license now.
No, correct. But you even said it. So fine. They own the DC license. Perfect.
But hold on. You're on him. You're on him because he called whatever China Toys illegal when they are. when they're completely illegal. And you're mad at him because he called them out for what they are.
I'm not mad at all. I was pointing out what he said.
You don't sound mad.
Yeah, you're right. You don't sound mad.
I am not mad at all. Why would him calling a company illegal make me mad?
Fabs, calm down, bro.
I'm telling you, you caught AIDS from his 66 Batmobile.
I'm calling out the hypocrisy of it. Not that bothers me. It's hypocritical, which is exactly what I said. He could call them whatever he wants, but it's going to go back on him because that's who he is still at the moment, making, you brought it up, Star Wars vehicles that are illegal, unlicensed, and that's my point. How do you get off? Yes, he's got the WBDC license, fine, but he's still making illegal stuff with Star Wars that he's got no license for. So where do you get off protecting a DC license while stealing a Star Wars license? That's my problem.
Because he was
Where you get off
because he paid for it. That's it.
Correct.
And look, I think how this came about, let's be honest. I think how this came about is I think DC approached him.
Okay.
I think initially, I mean, I can't say this for sure. This is my synopsis of the situation.
Fine.
I think DC hit him with this kind of a kind cease and desist, and it got dialogue going, and they worked something out and got the license. So I don't think he didn't go into it. Remember, right? He didn't go into it getting the DC license. You know what I mean? He was making things without it.
Because remember that the one we had, that BVS vehicle, was supposed to be bootleg, and he got the license right before that. He ended up saying, oh, we're going to have a pre-licensing price for those who get it early, and then obviously the regular people. So that I remember, correct. And you may not even be wrong about that, because that would make sense. It's like, hey, do me a favor. Let's, stop making our stuff. Hey, we would like to get your license.
We can make you money. We're not trying not to cut you in. I'm sure they said all the right things.
Absolutely. So that's and that's a possibility, right? We don't know what happened, but that's a huge possibility. And that would make sense, right? That's how you get in the door. Hey, we apologize, but we really would like to, work with you. That's how we make these vehicles, blah, 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 right? That could have been a conversation. And that's how they end up getting it, right? But again, the whole point isn't the license. The whole point isn't defending the license. The whole point is this. You're saying that they have every right to protect the license, and they do. That's not the problem. That's not the issue. The issue is that you're saying they're defending the license, so they're okay to call a company illegal. Fine. So why are they themselves being illegal, stealing Star Wars when that's not theirs?
Well, look,
so it's hypocritical, is my point.
That's what it is too. I don't think, again, it's not even so much for the license, right? They're protecting their market share, right? They want to make money. They want to sell as many figures as they can.
Correct.
And this company jumped the gun, and just like I think you guys said, there was probably news out there that Juice was going to do this, and these guys, like so many companies have done before, they jumped the gun. They're like, let me jump the gun. Let's make our figure quick and first. Let's get, and again, they make it cheap. They make it fast. They get a 20% market share. And that's all they're looking for. They're not looking to capture the whole 1/6 Catwoman market. But they want a tiny piece of it because they're in and out. They're in and out with quick junk, and they're gone.
Right. No, like I've always said, it's not about them being in this 1/6 scale game, because it has nothing to do with that. There's room for everybody. As long as you're making a good product that people want, there's room for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. There's a company could come out tomorrow making figures, licensed figures, and we'll stop buying these figures. And if we don't like them, guess what? It's going to get around that we don't like them. If we like them, guess what? It's going to get around that they're great figures and everybody likes them. And that's all you need to do, is make the product, keep your mouth shut, and stop talking shit about other companies. When, again, there's nothing wrong with talking shit. Like Hot Toys can talk shit about anybody, right? Because they own every license. So they and again, them coming from a bootleg company, but they've been more legal than they've been illegal. So there's a huge difference. Again, anybody can talk about anybody. So it's not about that. The problem is the hypocrisy of it is the only reason why I even brought that up. The only issue I have is that. Okay. Don't be a hypocrite.
So again, you're saying, just so again, you're upset with the terminology he used. You don't like that he called them illegal.
It was unnecessary. Correct. Unnecessary. There was no need.
What would you have said? What if
guys,
you own the license? You own the license. These guys jumped you. They jumped you in line.
I'll tell you right now.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you right now what I would say. First and foremost, this is how I would start the what do you call it? The video. Just so you guys understand. That's number one. Number two, I would say, hey guys. So I don't know if you guys know, but a company just announced the Catwoman figure, and we were holding back, and we were going to hold off to announce our Catwoman figure. But We were forced to do so because the other company announced her first. So here's our, here I am to show you ours. Blah blah. That's it. You don't need to put a company down while you're being bootleg yourself. You don't need to call nobody illegal while being illegal yourself. You don't need to do that. And that's my problem. That's my only problem. He could have explained, hey, guys, we've been working on this forever. And this company came out of nowhere. And he could have even said, they stole our idea. Cool.
See, you're acting like Juice went on and said, these scumbag illegals did this. Don't buy their toy. They're scumbags. We have the license. Don't look at them. Look at us. All he says they're illegal.
It's not about. Can we say scumbag illegals again?
Scumbag illegal. Listen, it's not about how deep or how insulting he was. No, that word did not belong coming out of his mouth. Period. Because that's true. What he is right now. Yes, it's true, but so is he. That's
Junkie.
So
Junkie says we should build a wall.
We can't say facts. We can't say the truth.
No. You could say what the problem is. Not that. It's just do not throw stones when you live in a glass house. That's it. No, nothing besides that. That's it. That's my. So it's not hatred. It's not that I hate him. It's not. It's just he's in the community.
He didn't go overboard. I feel like you're going. I think as if he went overboard, and he just called them an illegal company.
No, it's not about overboard. That's where you're going. That's where you're taking it. You're taking it as if I'm focused on the fact that he was being so disrespectful to his company. No, it's the hypocrisy that he suddenly feels that because he has a license, and again, he has, like you said, he has every right to protect the license because he can guarantee you he's paying for that. So absolutely, he has 100%.
So he's got every right to protect the license, but he doesn't have every right to say whatever he wants about it.
And he has the right to be upset and be mad about it 100%. But do not call a company something that you are. It's just that simple because it looks crazy. That's my only issue. But we got a super chat. Joker J, thank you, my friend. He says Saturday nights all right for fighting it. That like button for the thank you. Guys, please, there's 47 of you guys. Hit that like button if you don't mind. I appreciate it. Thank you, my friend, for the super chat. This is for you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you, bro.
No, you.
No, thank you, bro.
Thank you.
No, thank you, bro.
No, seriously, you.
No, seriously, thank you, bro.
No, for real, you.
No, thank you.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. So, Michael, now let's get. Now you're done?
I think we're warmed up.
Yeah, we're warmed up.
We're warmed up. So we're gonna get into now the actual specifics of the figure, and you tell us, if it's something that it's even appealing, if it's something that that you're gonna be looking forward to or interested in buying.
Can we start with the cat litter diorama piece? Can we start there?
Oh, here we go.
Like, what this shit, dude?
So he says, surprise, here is the first tease of our officially licensed and approved Catwoman. Approved by WB, DC, and Michelle Pfeiffer. You got to throw that in because they had a conversation. Pre-order will open in 5 to 8 weeks, including 2 head sculpts, photorealistically sculpted and painted to likeness of Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. 3 different mouth plates per head. So you get 6 different expressions. Okay. 2 head sculpts for a total of 6 head options. 2 movie accurate bodies with latex suits. 1 pristine, 1 battle damage. That's a great idea. 1 cat litter. I said that Thursday. 1 cat litter display base. 1 whip. 5 sets of clawed hands, which he said could be all metal. He said he may work on that, which would be great. I don't see why they wouldn't. If your first figure, your first licensed figure at that, I think you should go all out. I feel like he should make a statement with this figure if he's going to take this seriously, because I feel like it's easy to come into the community with a figure and then find excuses for why that figure didn't do well. So I think if you're going to come in and try to be part of the conversation, then make it worth it. Electric stun gun, surprise accessory, high-end collectible box, limited edition plate. So does any of that make you go, all right, that could be interesting, that could be appealing? Again, we haven't seen anything, period. These are the sculptor's images from his IG. So how do you feel about all this?
Look, I think I said this when the illegal company announced their figure. I said, I love this. Like, I'm going to get this because this is like a figure
that no
one's ever done.
Right.
We need this figure.
Yes.
I think most people want, who want this figure. I'll, if you have Joker, Jack Nicholson Joker, if you have, I think there would be as much heat on the Danny DeVito Penguin than there would be on this Catwoman. People want those two figures.
Correct.
And I hope he does the Penguin too, to be quite honest. Again, he's got the license. Why
absolutely.
And hopefully he actually hits this one out of the park and can use the money from this to make the Danny DeVito.
Yes. And that's the thing. For example, like you personally think like, oh, you hate. No, like if they come out, again, not that I'm buying anything anyway, but if they come out for you guys, for the community who supports them, who still supported them, because I supported them for a while before a lot of you guys were even in the hobby. That's why I own that, that vulture that you guys don't even know anything about. A lot of you guys, at least. So I've supported the company plenty. It's just, I'm at a point where, to me, that company is not making anything that is worth what they're charging. Therefore, the only way I could protest that is by not spending my money with them, period. Does it, like I tell you guys over and over and over, if they become a millionaire tomorrow, it doesn't affect me. If they go out of business tomorrow, it doesn't affect me. I don't wish anything bad on anybody. I don't wish anything bad on his company. That's how he feeds his family. It could be even if it's, pocket money for him, his mess around money, right? His pocket change, right? This is his hobby. He makes whatever. It doesn't matter. You still don't want me personally. I don't wish anybody's failure. I don't wish anybody to go down. Oh, I wish this. Never. In fact, if they're in the hobby and your goal is to be somebody in the hobby, then make good figures. Okay, make good figures. Make them good enough that we can't talk so much shit about the product, And it doesn't mean that you have to make them Hot Toys level. No, because Hot Toys is Hot Toys. If you're trying to look at Hot Toys for inspiration, not for competition in the sense of I'm going to beat them. It'll never happen. So focus on the figure, focus on the accuracy, because I can guarantee you that will be your killer. The first thing people are going to say is, that is wrong. That is off. This didn't happen. That wasn't in the movie. This didn't look like that. The suit is loose. The suit is not tight. The material's not right. That's what's going to kill the figure. The accuracy police. That's who's going to get them. But everybody's ready to support the underdog at all times. As you saw, Inner came out of the
You have so much Hot Toys wiener in your mouth. It's so gross. Because look what you said there. You said they're never going to beat Hot Toys. You know what?
They're not. I can tell you they're not. Because
I think he could. I think he can do it.
How?
You know why?
Explain.
Because Hot Toys should be, let me be honest, Hot Toys should have done this already. Instead of re-releasing every freaking Stormtrooper that they've done, they should have done this.
You're right.
And killed it.
You're
and
right.
Not even given Juice this fucking door.
He said the F word.
I'm sorry. Let's be honest. They should have done this already. This would have been a dead conversation, and this would not be an opportunity for Juice to take advantage of. Hot Toys has let this happen. Absolutely. And look, I hope Juice knocks it out of the park. I really do, because then it can show Hot Toys, you screwed up. You screwed up, boys. You didn't think that through. You might have made money selling, your 15th gold Stormtrooper.
He's so not wrong, man. Like, I don't want to agree with him, but I have to.
At all.
Yeah, you
take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Because think about it. What if Juice does this right? What if he actually puts these people together at the right time and these right people, and they get this right? Like, if that happens, that was really dumb then on Hot Toys' part, wasn't it?
That's the thing. Well, no, you're 100% correct. Hot Toys, and you worded it perfectly. Hot Toys allowing this to happen is crazy, because at the end of the day, we know that Hot Toys will be the most accurate figures out there.
You know what really kills me?
To do it, they could have done it already 5 times over.
Right.
What really kills me about this entire conversation is that Howard Chan is laying in his massive pool right now in Southern California, sipping, double fisting cocktails. He's got
backstroking through hundreds.
servants. Yes, he's got servants strolling around. He's got houseboys. He's got house girls. He's got piles of money. He lights his cigars. He's almost on my level. He lights his cigars with $50 bills, right? And he cannot give a shit less what we think about this. And we're over here railing on Hot Toys.
Absolutely, 100%. And out of every single company, I can guarantee you he's the one that cares the least out of anybody's opinion because he doesn't get involved with the community. So we know that. I know that. I don't do any, like I said, anytime I go in on Hot Toys, they don't owe me anything. They don't know who I am. They don't care if I exist. They don't even know I exist.
They watch. They don't speak English, so they don't say anything. But they watch. They most certainly watch. They watch.
Man. Hey, Mike, I'm going to need you to start using the word newcomers instead of illegals, okay? Newcomers.
He said newcomers. Unbelievable.
Can you say China again?
China.
He said, I'm praying he gets it right, or Mars, or whoever. No, that's the thing.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Joker's right? I don't care if this is jazz. I don't care if this is Maz, Raz, whatever.
Right.
Somebody come through
with the figure.
And do it.
All right. Ouch, Mike. Collection Obsession, welcome. Nice to see you.
I'm doing.
He says,
collection.
What if
I can see InArt pulling it off, though.
A fight for Catwoman prototype for Summer Showcase. I told you, I don't know if you were here, Obsession, on Thursday, but like I said, can they do it? Absolutely. Can they nail it? Absolutely. The problem is because of the fact that they never did it before. And just like Mike said, everything that you guys are seeing within the past 3 years, they've done 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
Hold on. They can't do that now, though, guys. Like they could have done that before. They got the license now.
That's what I'm saying.
Can't do that.
Correct. So that's what I'm saying. So they could have done it when they had the chance, right? Now they can. And again, I said this Thursday. Now that they got the Yost has the license, there's nothing they could do, right? There's nothing they could do.
I don't think Hot Toys can come out and go, we're going to do a Catwoman. I don't think they can do that, to be honest.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, how would that work? If you look at, for example, and I'm going to see if it goes. Like, for example, when the Stallone shop made that, those Rambo figures, right? And 3-0's making Rambo figures. How did that work? They're both companies with the same license making Rambo figures. And you got the Stallone shop giving their license to 3-0 to make Rambo figures. You know what I mean? So is that possible? I guess it is.
Yeah, well, look, it happens in the statute game, right? Like there are some companies who they only have like the DC Marvel license in in the West, like in Singapore and India, but they still sell things over here because they sell them through a distributor. You know what I mean?
Right.
They sell them through somebody here, and then the guy who gets them here, on a pallet or whatever, on a box,
right,
and sells them here in the US. Like Spec Fiction is one of those companies. You know what I mean? He's the middleman.
Right. So like I said on Thursday also, at this point, again, can they? Of course, again, we don't know how the licensing stuff works. I don't know how the licensing stuff works. But like I said, that's why I brought up that example and that comparison of Stallone Shop and 3-0 because they're both making Rambos. They're not exactly the same, but they're both making Rambos. So obviously you need a Rambo license to make a Rambo. The thing is 3-0 is making specific Rambos, Rambo 1, Rambo 2, Rambo 3, Stallone Shop is just making Rambo, so I don't know, maybe that's the difference there. Who knows? Right. But I can tell you this, because of the fact that they haven't made it before, I don't think it's coming all of a sudden. I think that if they had made it, like Mike said, in the past, we would have been up to probably the third version of it. Just like the original Catwoman. We're already up to the second version, right? Of the Anne Hathaway Catwoman, right? They made her years ago. Here's the new reissue, not the reissue, the 2.0, right? Updated body, updated head sculpt, all this stuff. So because they never made it before, I'm going to say no. But again, can they? Most likely. I don't see why not. And I can guarantee you that if for whatever reason, again, it could be politics involved, but I can guarantee if Hot Toys says, hey, can we get the license for this? I don't know how protective DC would be towards Jazz Inc. when obviously it would be money in their pocket as well through Hot Toys. So again, I don't know. Obviously, it would be creating competition for Jazz Inc. if they gave it to Hot Toys, right? Which I don't think Jazz Inc. would be very happy about that. So I don't think that's how that would work. Because I can tell you this. If I just paid you a certain amount of money for something that in my head, it's going to be exclusive. And then you put the top competitor of my, my area of what I focus on, and you give them the same license I just paid for, you give it to them because they paid you for it as well. How can I be like, oh, it's okay? I would be very upset, very mad that I expected to be exclusive on something, and now you put the main guy on top of me. So how can I make any money? So that's why I don't think that they could do that.
And you wouldn't call them illegal. No.
Call who illegal?
Newcomer.
The person who's doing it.
Newcomer. Wait, call who illegal? Hot Toys?
You're saying in this example that you're giving, you would be mad, but you wouldn't call them illegal.
I wouldn't be mad about anything. This guy.
He's gonna start swinging a stick at you in a minute, Fab.
I know. I'm trying to get him.
Michael says Hot Toys probably has a Catwoman sitting in their vault for a special occasion. No, believe me,
we
would have seen a tease by now. And even if they never released it, we've seen teases of things that they never released. So we would have seen it.
And you think so? I think they've done tons of figures that we haven't seen. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't they? I bet you they have a whole stockpile of stuff we haven't seen.
I wouldn't be surprised if they had like a showroom or something like that. Because we keep seeing pictures of prototype figures, so obviously they've been made that never really make it to production. Like Kit Fisto is one that immediately comes to mind. Right. So, and we've seen pictures of 212s as well that never came to fruit. So yeah, there's got to be a room somewhere where they just have this stuff standing up. I would love to hear some of those stories. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I bet you it's in Howard's collection. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah, exactly.
It's not like a half-assed figure. Like they go through the process to finish this figure to see what it would cost. Right. You know, and then he's got this one-off, one-of-one figure that's in probably Howard's collection.
Yeah, and it's really interesting too because I would just like to it'd be neat to have somebody go through there and just ask those questions. It's like, okay, tell us the story of why Kit Fisto never made it to production. You know what I mean? Like, give us a little something because I feel like we see a lot of things that get teased, and then we never get to that point, and then we don't know what happened. You know what I mean? Like, I think even this wasn't this General
Factory too expensive. Ago? We stop it. That's
you know, Mike.
Too much money. We say another stormtrooper. More stormtrooper. Money maker. That's what he said.
Oh man.
Oh God. I think I just went there. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yo said. Collection said.
I can't do a Dutch Jost accent, so forget it.
Yost has said he wants to do DC stuff that Hot Toys refuses to do. That collector, that would be the smartest thing in the world because number one, he would have no competition because he clearly knows that Hot Toys isn't making that stuff. So that is 100% very smart. Number two, there are a bunch of figures that Hot Toys has never gone near, especially DC figures. Right. So that if that's where he's going and that's where he's headed and that's his goal, that is a great goal to have because guess what? Any other third party company will continue to make any other figure that they want. But what he has to worry about is Hot Toys. Period. That's it. If Yost can't make a figure, okay, remember, now he's licensed. So remember this. If he can't make a figure, because remember, he called them illegal. So that means that licensing must mean something that you got to call somebody illegal, right? So my thing is this, which again, it was unnecessary to call anybody illegal because of this. At the end of the day, we're going to be looking for whoever makes the best figure, period. Doesn't matter who it is, we're looking for the best figure, right? So his goal is, well, now I'm licensed. I have to give them the best figure I can possibly make. Forget about the competition. Forget about who's around, because there's plenty around, right? Focus on the work that you need to do. Stop focusing on who's around. Stop focusing on who's illegal. Focus on your work. Focus on the product. Focus on giving us your best product ever, because that's what's going to dictate where you're headed with your figures. It's that simple.
100%.
So to worry about another company on your first announcement, it's already a negative thing. It's already negative. Your video should have been you being super excited and super happy to let us know about your new project, about your new product.
You're making too big of a deal of it.
Huh?
You're making too big of a deal of it.
He didn't?
You're making too big of a deal of the negative thing.
He says you're thinking through it too much.
No, but I'm just saying, like, focus. The whole point of that was focus on the product. That's it. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
like, there's no negative connotation on it right now. Like, you think there's a negative, like, stigma to the Catwoman project now?
What do you mean? In what sense?
Like, in the sense that, like, again, because Jazz is such this big hypocrite in your eyes.
No. It has nothing to do with the figure. It has nothing to do, that's what I'm saying. If they're worried about a third party, company coming after their licensed figure, because that's showing some type of worry. Oh, we were not ready or prepared to tell you guys this, but the illegals came first, and here we go. Like, no, like, hey guys, by the way, we want to announce to you guys our new project here. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I would have expected. You should be excited that you have a new project, a new exciting figure that nobody has ever made. That alone should have changed your whole demeanor about illegals being your first word. So that's the issue. That's it. I hope, like I said, it's a figure that nobody has made. It's a figure that now we got 3 companies making it. The competition, again, should not be your problem or your issue. What you should be focusing on is the figure itself. Brandon, we're gonna get into, because you've been very quiet about the Jazz Inc. conversation. So we're gonna get
It's kind of funny because, like, as soon as Mike gets fired up, man, like, I feel like okay, I gotta back away just a bit. I don't want to get burned. Mike's lit.
Stay out of the way. Stay out of the way.
You don't want to get bit. All right, so Brandon, we got, again, so this is a 2.0. We'll see what Mike calls it in a second. But this was already released. This is obviously an updated version of it. USB powered. The Bruce Wayne, as you can see, looks like a topo suit, very beautifully tailored.
Yeah, it really does.
We get the new brown boots. I don't know, for those who follow me on Instagram, Facebook, saw that I posted the original figure yesterday. For those who didn't notice, he came originally with black shoes. As you can see now, he's got brown shoes. So it's not the exact same figure 100%. Like I said, the suit is completely different, tailored differently. It looks incredible compared to the old one. Obviously, we saw that this whole Batman figure is updated. So Brandon, how do you feel about this overall?
I gotta say, man, if they were gonna try and hook you with a 2.0, I think doing the Bruce Wayne in that pinstripe suit was just a great idea, man. I mean, the head sculpt is really, really great. But just like you mentioned, the tailoring, like let's go back like 3 pictures. The one that showed the whole body one, because you can really see right here. Actually, is a great shot. So you can really see where they like. What impresses me about this is that the fit of his suit, okay, is a modern style, like it's a modern fitted 3-piece, and they pulled it off in 6 scale so well, because we see a lot of figures that not a lot, but we see a fair number of figures, and when they're dressed like this, when they're dressed smartly, then there's always something that just feels a little bit off. Like, what's great is that with his hands in the pockets of his slack, first off, it's great that the slack even has pockets in the first place, okay, but with his hands in his pockets, like, that's what a real slack looks like when people are wearing it, and when men put their hands in the pockets, like, it flexes just that way. Like,
yes.
This looks so true to life.
Yes.
Like this alone, just this picture right here was almost enough to get me to go, is my wife looking?
gorgeous.
Maybe I can put this on pre-order, you know?
It's gorgeous.
But
It's a gorgeous.
it's just like that's such a great look, and it's funny because a lot of times when I see figures wearing suits, you know, when they're wearing, you know, when they're wearing real clothing, I just feel like, you know, who cares? It's uninteresting. It's seen it a million times before in real life. Just can't be bothered.
Right.
But this is different, man. This looks so good as a 6 scale figure. Like, it's just great. It's great. They absolutely capture. I think Christian Bale did a really good job of putting on the Bruce Wayne persona when he acted in the role. I didn't feel that way so much in Batman Begins. Closer toward the end of Batman Begins, I felt like he fell into the role as an actor, you know, taking on the mask of that role. But in the second one, in The Dark Knight, I mean, he had it right out of the gate. He was there. And maybe that was by design. Maybe he's just that good of an actor. But I feel like they just nailed it so much. Like, as much as he was able to put on the Bruce Wayne persona, they have been able to recreate the Bruce Wayne figure in 6 scale. And I think that's really amazing. The Batman, is this the same Batman? Is this the same print that we were looking at the other night? We were talking about him with the upgrade. It just had like some minor upgrades around the armor, right?
Which one? This one or the new one?
This specific Batman is an upgraded version of the one that came out
The DX19
a couple years ago or something. Yeah, the DX19.
Well, the DX19 only came out last year.
A year ago, yeah.
Yeah, so this is an updated version of that. And this one specifically looks slightly different than the clear Bat Armory one.
Yeah, and you know what really kind of jars me about this one though, because I'm not on board with this figure. I think the head looks really weird. But I feel like no, because
you know why?
You know what it is? Let me take that back. Meaner. It's not the head. It's not that it looks meaner. Okay. No? What I don't like about the head is that the face, the mouth on the underneath of his nose, it just something's off. And it's almost like they took the Bale Batman and then put Michael Keaton's mouth on him. So there's something really kind of.
I know you're talking about the lips. You're talking about the lips.
It's the lips. Okay. So looking at this, I feel like this is like you remember when we were watching the third Nolan Batman movie, and it was you got to see Batman during the daytime for the first time, and he just looked like he didn't fit. Like there was just something awkward about him, even in the fight scenes and everything. There's something oddly awkward about him, and it's because you always see Batman at night and in darker settings. You know what I mean? So I feel like this maybe it looks wrong because they're shining light on him for the photos. I have no clue, but there's just something a little bit jarring about this, and a little bit something a little bit off.
We have the Alchemist. How are you, my friend?
I mean, I think they really nailed it with the eye pits. Like you could tell it's his face under there, and it's just stained. You know, which I felt like was a really good thing for them to touch on during the films. Like when they showed him without the cowl, and you know he had the darker eye pits and stuff. So like, I mean, it's quality work. I'm not sold on it. It just feels off.
Rob, how are you, my friend? Welcome. All right, so we got Michael. Michael, so obviously you know that this is a 2.0. You know that this is updated. I don't know if you own the original.
I like that.
I don't know if you own the original one.
Is that 19?
This is the new one.
No. I'm asking Mike, the one he's holding up.
Oh, wait. No, that's the Batman Begins. Hold on.
Here, I got a skit. Hey, do you think we can get him to spend another $500? I think we can. Let's make it twice. Are you? They will never do that. They're going to do it. Fabs will definitely do it. No way.
Well, let's call it art. They do it better anyways.
Wait, so Michael, tell us how you feel about this guy.
Who cares?
So wait,
that's how you really feel, Mike.
Wait, so you're not getting the clear one?
You could have, because there was the re-release of the re-release. You could have bought that one, the one they just did.
What's the re-release? What's the re-release of the re-release?
They did. I think it's this one. Is it this one? What's the one that they it came with the head sculpt too?
Well, they did the DX19. And then they did Batman Begins that was also updated too.
There was one they just redid.
Yeah.
And it came with this head sculpt. That's how I got, built this suit.
Yeah, that one, the one you're holding. Batman Begins came with a head sculpt too.
Yeah, so
right.
they just did it. It's like not
Yes,
even a year old.
They did both. They did Batman Begins after no. What came out first? The DX19 or Batman Begins? No, DX19 came out and then Batman Begins, I believe, wasn't it? Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I know that the Batman Begins and DX19 both came out the same year, which was last year. I don't remember which one came out first. Or at least I don't remember which one I got first. I think I got the DX19 first, and then I got the Batman Begins after. I think that's the order that it came out in. So, knowing that, do you own the original Bat Armory? No.
I don't. I own the illegal armory.
So the third-party one that they made.
The third-party one that they made. I got that one.
Right. Do you remember the company? Because I have that one too displayed, and I don't remember.
We talked about it before. I don't actually
remember.
I think we came up with the company, but I'm forgetting it.
So I ended up what I ended up doing, guys, when this Bat Armory came out, it was a double pack of Bruce Wayne and Alfred Pennyworth that came with the Bat Armory. What happened was I ended up not displaying that Bat Armory, the Hot Toys one, and I left it in the box. Mine's still in the box. That third-party one came out, and to me, it looked slightly better than the Hot Toys one, and that's why I bought it. I displayed. That's the one I have displayed in the detail. So I don't even have a Hot Toys displayed, but obviously I'm gonna have to get this for the figures. So now, Mike, how do you feel about the updates of the body, like all this stuff that they're newly making? See, accurate recreation of the Batsuit and cowl from the Dark Knight. So they're telling you that the belt is different, the design of the suit is different. How does that make you feel about, is it worth it? Should I get this now since I don't have the original? Or you're like, nah, who cares?
Yep. This is a lot of money. This is a lot of money.
Yes, it's a lot of money. It's like 500 and change. Yep.
Yeah. So shipping, tax, it's a lot of money. And you know what? The improvements and the upgrades of the new belt don't justify the price.
It's not the new belt. It's all this.
No. You pointed it out. Let's look at the new belt.
We talked about this the other night, though, man. Like,
I didn't bring it up. You brought it up. Let's talk about the new 2.0 belt.
2/3 of this figure, 2/3 of the upgrades on this figure, you're never even gonna see because they're on the back.
Right.
Like, never mind the fact that you don't pose your collection with the back of the figure facing,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't pose them facing backwards.
Right.
Okay. He wears a cape, dude.
Right.
Like, even if you posed him backwards, he wears a cape. So are you going to pose Batman backwards facing away from your display without the cape on, so that way you can highlight the latest details? I mean, this one feels like a slap in the
hear me out. Like,
really
look, like this, the display on the screen right now, right? The Bat Armory with the figure in it.
Sure,
right?
Looks good.
That didn't happen, right? I don't think that was that available. I think you could hold maybe the helmet was held, but not the whole figure, right?
Wait, say it again. What are you saying? What, for the third party one?
The original one, I don't know if it just held the helmet but you didn't hold the whole figure like this.
Well, no. So the original one, these are not holders. These are just literally metal pieces
right, that
just
make
hung
down. Right?
Correct. That's it. Exactly. No, they do come with it though. They do.
But you weren't able to put the whole figure up in the first one.
Of course you could.
Yeah,
because remember that there was two ways of displaying it. You could display the Batman suit inside of it with the empty cowl that came with it, or obviously the Bruce Wayne head with it, or the cowl with the mouth plates on it. So absolutely, yeah, you got every look.
Yeah, I guess I don't remember it like that, but
right.
But you know what? Like, I guess that's probably what attracts me maybe the most is that right there.
Yeah, that's sexy. It looks sexy, right?
Yeah, but would you be surprised though that you spend $500, you get this, the two figures, this, and then Hot Toys releases just that for $199?
Oh yeah, I'd be pretty pissed about that.
I would be upset. If that happened, I would be upset.
Like, that's their type of moves these days. You know what I mean?
But think about it though. I let me take that back. I would be upset because I don't want just this. I want, the whole point is to get the figures. You know what I mean? So that's why I would be like, do I just want this? Actually, if I could, I would only get the two figures, the two the bat without this, because I already have one, and I definitely don't need a USB powered because he's going to sit in the box anyway, just like the original.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I would want the USB powered display there like that. And that's I don't need the figures because I got the figures.
Gotcha. Yeah, see, no, I don't know. The USB powered, again, having it already, do I really need to? It's not going to get plugged in anyway.
Hey, maybe we split it.
Yeah, you take this and I'll take the figures. Absolutely.
There you go.
Oh, hell yeah. You pay 300, I pay 150. So
that makes sense.
Imagine. So here we go. So all of these things are updated. So we got separate rolling eyeballs for the head sculpt. We got accurate recreation of the bat suit and cowl. We read that. So these are the updated things. We get this crappy base, which is, useless. But what I really love, here's the empty cowl, like I said. So like I said, for the original, you get this as well. So you could display it with the empty cowl or with the mouth place with Batman as the figure.
Doesn't that need to stop now, by the way? Like, don't these bases just need to, just stop?
Yeah, it's just, again, I feel like these bulky ones, they do it just, number one, to make the figure taller. To make it look fancier, to make it look, bigger than what it is. But they're very useless. They take up so much space for no reason. And again, they make the figures that much taller.
There's so many, and I would just love to throw them out, and I can't bring myself to do it.
Brandon, your last thoughts on this beauty?
I think it's really great. I think if you don't already have, the DX19 or similar, if you don't have an armory you're already in love with, I think this is a must-have for the hardcore Batman fans. It does feel like a slap in the face, though, and I'm one of those guys that tends to stand on principle, So I don't know if I just bought, and it's funny because I have a friend bought. He hit me up. He said, "Brandon, the DX19 went on wait list. I really need one. Can you find it for me?" And I like the guy. So I keep putting myself in his shoes throughout this discussion, even as I'm typing on other screens and stuff. I'm putting those shoes on and I'm trying to see, how do I feel about this from his perspective. I would be kind of pissed because, it just like Mike says, it feels like a slap. It really does, that they would go ahead and 1 year later. You know what I mean? I mean, the Hong Kong Air hasn't completely left the box on the first one. And we're talking about shelling out another, what's 525 or 560, like whatever that. It was, plus 10% like in taxes. Right. Okay, plus $40 to ship it, because for some reason Sideshow likes to tax the hell out of us on shipping. Bro, I can throw a rock. Okay, I can't throw it. They're 30 miles from where I live, and I pay like $27 to have a standard size Star Wars figure shipped to me. It's like, if they would just do a will call, and they don't because they're taxing us on shipping. But if they had a will, anyways, tirade. I like this. I like it a lot. I feel like I would have appreciated it more had they dropped the DX19 4 years ago, years ago, and then it hit, or having this a couple of years down the road. Like you can't keep sizzling me all the time. It's like, how do you cook a frog by turning the heat up on the pan a little bit at a time. If you turn the heat way up, he's going to jump out of the pan. Right. So it's like, if you want to seduce me out of my, you want to get my wallet out of my panties and get this done, you got to give me a little bit of time to go, my Batman is getting a little long in the tooth. So like I said, I think for that, because, I feel like standing on principle in this one, I feel like I wouldn't jump in on this just because it feels like they don't appreciate me as a customer. It feels like I'm more like a number.
Exactly. Yeah. That kid worked. Let's say that kid's making $500 a week, and he spends $3 of the $500 on that figure. And look, you got him to spend his hard-earned money on that figure. Yeah. And then not even a year later, you tell him his figure's not. There's a better one out there.
There's a better one out there. That's the problem. Okay, I feel like
supported your company.
Okay, and I feel like what they should have done is maybe gone ahead and not highlighted the look at this one, it's better now. Okay, I think they should have gone ahead and showed the pictures and just not drawn attention to the upgrades. Because again, like we said, I was exaggerating.
You have to do that. You have to do that because and it really doesn't justify getting the new one if they're not going to point out the new stuff.
Well, you got the whole armory. I mean, look, here's the deal, man. And maybe I'm just a little bit of a mad lad behind it. But when they start talking about USB-C powered bases, take my money, bro. I don't care. It's USB-C. Okay. Come on. Give me more. So I feel like the Armory had standing power on its own, and that you could have paired it with the Bruce Wayne figure in that tight, fantastically crafted suit, and left it there. You could have included a bust, or maybe just an empty suit to put in the middle of the Armory, like in the other picture that we looked at, as opposed to making it an entire figure and then saying this is why you should spend more because we improved on the one you already bought. Like that, it feels janky to me, man. It feels shady. I don't
Well,
like
no,
shady.
it does hurt.
That's a great point, right? The armory, the suit, that's it. No Batman because you already gave us the Batman.
Exactly.
Use your brain.
Correct,
Use your
correct.
brain, Hot Toys.
So
you
that is 100%.
And then you could have hit it.
Go ahead.
You could have hit it with a $4.99 price tag at that point, and people would still have gone bonkers over it.
Right. Right.
So
that's
that's the way it should have been done.
That is a great point. That is 100%. But here's another point. There's 2 points I got to make real quick. Number one, this is why Hot Toys doesn't really get involved with the community as it is anyway, because they really don't care, right? They're just a company making figures, making money, and it's up to us whether we want to support it or not. That's why I personally think that's why there's so many YouTubers and so many people in the community that want Hot Toys to fail so badly, because they know that Hot Toys is not a customer-friendly company. It's not a company that, is close to the fans, is close to the, at least us. Obviously in Hong Kong, they're around everybody, because you see in every convention, every show that they have, how we're taking pictures with these people. So, I guess we want him to see us that way, to look at us that way, which they're not. And so because these other companies, for example, Jazz Inc., get into the community, go into the community, get on streams and stuff, I'm assuming people feel closer to the company. So that's where they're like, oh, Inner's the best and Hot Toys sucks. When in reality, that'll never be the case. But that's one thing. Another thing, Michael pointed out. So he says, why aren't they releasing just the figure by itself? Well, it's a pack, right? This is like I said, a 2.0. This is another reason for them to make just extra money like we're talking about. And one thing I need to point out, who else made this exact double pack? J&D. So if we're talking about licenses,
illegals.
Exactly. No, we're not illegal, but they clearly can sell the license to multiple people to do the same thing twice. So if Jazz Inc. has the what do you call it? The DC license for Catwoman, clearly Hot Toys could get it as well. Clearly. Again, maybe they just haven't wanted it because they don't want to bother. That's another story. But it looks like if J&D got it, right? If J&D was able to get this Batman Armory thing that they announced that they're making for $2,000, why wouldn't Hot Toys be able to get the Catwoman license? If, as you can see, Hot Toys just got this when J&D had it already a few months ago. So that's what I mean. So clearly that this whole licensing thing is deeper than we think. It's more complex than we think. And that's why I can never say, oh, this is why. But I can tell you, I can put things together that point out, all right, well, if this is happening and it's happening in different situations and multiple times, then guess what? It must be a thing. And it must be that multiple companies can get the same license.
There's all kinds of rules when it comes to licensing. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of them are made by the owners of the license in the first place. I remember I did a project probably 10 years ago for a client that actually the niche that their market was in managing licensing for companies like Activision and other video game companies, and it was a mess. I mean, you can see it now in Marvel with what we have in Marvel. You have Marvel, Disney owns a Marvel license. So they go ahead and they produce all the Marvel movies, but then you've got Sony who owns specifically the license to Spider-Man. And as long as they go ahead and they keep vomiting out terrible movies every 8 years or so, they renew that license. And Disney's got nothing to say about it because it's a 60 or 70-year-old agreement, 40 years, however long ago it was. So yeah, licensing can get pretty complicated.
Joker J says, so how long is respectable to wait between updates? Michael?
How long is it to wait between updates?
Yeah, like when you get a re-release or you get a 2.0 version of the same figure.
A year.
Okay, a
Well,
year.
wait a minute. Then you're killing the whole argument that we just had about this.
No, because they did this within 6 months. They just released that figure. It's
Yeah.
not even. It's not even.
Oh, okay. I
months
see.
ago.
Okay, they announced it a year ago.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I see. what
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying.
no. From like from the time we get it in our hands to the time they make announcement of a new figure, it's not hand to hand, because you got your figure. Yeah, it was within 6 months. It was this year, wasn't it in 24?
I don't think so. I think it dropped in like
19 was 23.
November. I think.
It's
Yeah,
definitely- it's
November,
definitely- let me say
September.
this: it's within 12 months. There's no question.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no,
Michael-
I think 3 years is the way to go. Personally, I think 3 years gives you enough time to go ahead and get sick of looking at it in your display.
Right.
Or
I guess
you
the
know
same
what I mean?
figure. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
You know, so I think 3 years is a good way to go. On the other hand, I mean, like, it's exciting when they do re-releases, because if you just got into the hobby, and we know how Mike feels about those guys, but if you just got into the hobby and you missed out, like what annoys me is that I've got a Count Dooku, and I love that figure, but like I paid through the nose for him because I got into the hobby like 7 or 8 months after he dropped. You know, I had just missed him, and like, man, I tell you, that one stung quite a
But
bit.
hold
when
on.
I bought it.
Okay, you paid through the nose though. It's awesome though, right?
Oh, dude, it's a great figure. Like the head
So
sculpt.
look at
Yeah,
look what
yeah,
I'm
no,
complaining about.
I get it. I'm never going to argue. I'm never going to argue against the secondary market, because I am a free market capitalist. I firmly believe that a thing is worth whatever someone is willing to pay for it. I don't give a shit when people are going out there and they're paying $900 for Crosshair, bro. I celebrate you because you got exactly what you wanted.
Yep.
And you got what you wanted. Like, you can't put a price on the satisfaction of lifting that lid.
100%.
Oh, smelling that Hong Kong air. Like, oh, bro, I get it. I get it.
80%.
So that's what it's coming down to. I think, though, that, you know, you do need a couple years between releases like this, especially if you're going to come at it with the angle of, guys, it's way better than the last one we did, you know, because that's like it's a middle finger to everybody.
That's the slap in the face.
Shelled it out. Because
That's
see, here's the thing, man. They don't announce figures and then like they don't have a warehouse full of figures back there. Okay. They announce the figure and they take your pre-order money, and that's what they use to make that figure with. Okay. So it's like I bankrolled that project. I bankrolled DX19 with my pre-order. And now you're saying, okay, well, you paid top dollar for it when it was brand new, when it first dropped, but we made it so much better now. So buy it again. Again, that's like a
Right. They there's no risk in it for them because they have
Yes.
the market kind of sold. You know, so they probably make 20% over what they've pre-sold, and that you think they would probably do that, right?
Yeah, I got a feeling it's quite a bit more than that. But yeah, no, you're on the right track with that. And I just again, like I don't hesitate to spend money, man. I just don't. But at the same time, if I don't feel like I'm welcome, if I don't feel like my business matters, if I don't feel like I am the most important client when I set foot in that business, then I'll walk right out. It just comes down to principle. And that's how that makes me feel. 1 year or it may have been a year since they started taking pre-orders, but 7 months after the figure dropped, you've got a new and improved version. That makes me feel like I'm not valued, man.
Mike, he's loving your background box collection. Look at this
Mike's
guy.
got a lot of boxes, man. Mike loves box.
Talk about being a hoarder.
What's
Talk
that?
about being a hoarder. That's a hoarder. Not me. That's a hoarder right there. Look at that.
Look, what do you want? I got a War Machine.
Like, what do you want?
Dude, I feel that. The mess that he's got back there. I had a couple collections come in over the last
Want some
week
pop?
and a
You
half.
want some pop culture? I'll open one of these on maybe stream tonight.
Yeah, go ahead. Go open
This
it
is
now.
this is Fennec Shand and Cad Bane.
Oh, open. So, guys, we did it. Brandon, anything? Tell us about the website. How's it going? Are you getting a lot of hits? Very good.
This is my happy dance. Oh, wait. Let me open my hands for the happy. There we go. That's better. Oops. The site's the site's going great. If you want to go ahead and plug the link again, I'm sure here I'll drop it in the chat for you. But The site's going great. I've gotten a lot of really great feedback on it. We had quite a few sales come in, so that was exciting, especially during the show. We had a lot of support from our viewers, so I appreciate that.
Yes, that's awesome.
I was playing around with the analytics on it today. Funny enough, somebody just commented, "Do you ever look at who visits the site?" And it's like I'm just learning how to use those tools now, and it's really really neat. Like it gives me a lot of information on where I get the most hits from, the active parts of the country. I mean, I ship worldwide, so the active countries that actually come and shop on the site, which is really really great, really interesting stuff. So we went ahead and tore down an arena fet. Bro, when it comes to grails and like limited figs, and I'm sitting there
It hurts.
Bro, it hurts. And I'll tell you, this is my spoon, right? This is like the most useful tool in my arsenal. This is what I get under flaps with to pop them off and things like that.
Wait, let me see.
Bro,
it looks that looks like what you use for the yayo, no?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna go that far. But no, it's great. It's got a little curve in it, so I can get it into those little seams. Fab, knock it off, bro. This isn't Puerto Rico. Oh, excuse me, Colombia. But no, the site's been going great. I did decide on rebranding it, so there is that. So we're gonna take the Brandalorian thing and we're gonna blast off to the moon with that up until Disney decides to jump on me about it. But I'm a little fish in a big pond, so we'll see. We'll see.
Daniel says he has a 3-cent comment 30 minutes ago. Daniel, tell me what it started with, so I could go back. I probably missed it. Let me see if I can find it real quickly.
I want to bring something else to the table too while they're going ahead and while they're looking at that comment.
Yeah,
I found this. My buddy Will is gonna uninstall me if I.
Brandon from Daniel. Brandon,
Oh, I caught that. Yeah.
Oh, you did. Okay.
We're gonna hook up.
All right. Maybe this one. A topic worth speculating about 5 to 10 minutes. I know hundreds of costs finally getting back to pre-COVID
customers.
Customers. I guess I don't know. Numbers in late 2023, 2024, in my opinion, between the ramped up Hot Toys production, ramped up announcements, and acknowledged by you Hot Toys veterans increase in odd, strange release strategies. I feel that Hot Toys has hired several new staff, if not added few positions in upper management, etc. Why Hot Toys by all metrics is, and there's no continuation. So anybody wanna?
No.
So I'm trying to figure out what the question is.
It's a little hard to follow. I think what he's saying is that we're seeing a change in the release schedule because.
Oh, here's the third. So metric is crazier than ever. Would be newsworthy if verified. So go ahead. What were you saying, Brandon?
I don't actually. No. Something that I wanted to share with with our viewers here. It's gonna take me just a second to get my referral link.
I thought you were talking about the topic. So what were you saying? The topic, the question was that you were getting into the question, Daniel's question.
Oh yeah, no. He mentioned when I brought up the movie theater that we're building that he's in that industry. So he and I are gonna hook up and start looking at picking out some gear when it comes time for that.
Hot Toys has hired several new staff, if not added a few positions. Well, I mean, how would you even come up with that idea of management? And you know what I mean? Like, where would you get that from? Like, how do you know? How would we even know that anybody's in management? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how you would even. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know who works for Hot Toys. Huh?
I think what he's saying is that with the spike that we saw in the spends that people were because when we were all locked down on COVID, people spent money. That's right. The topic that.
Well, we were getting free government checks too. So
yeah, there's that. But some of you guys were. I wasn't. But no, I think what he's saying is that they brought in a lot of people. With that spike to help manage the business. And now we're seeing the results of that, a year and a half down the road, where they're going ahead and they're amping up the release schedules. We've been commenting for weeks now on how many Star Wars figures we saw released for the month of May, and that makes sense. But that I kind of want to not put any weight in that because I've seen a number of times where you have a company culture that really works. They're making a lot of money. All the employees get along and everything else. And then they bring in the pencil pushers to figure out how can we streamline our process? How can we make our business better? And then all of a sudden, you've got stupid rules, like no drinking in the office and things like that.
Okay, they've been making too many though. Let's be very. I feel they're oversaturating their market. They're making. I feel like I don't know. This is my feeling on it. Is that Star Wars TV license must have been cheap and wide reaching, because they could. It seems like they had free reign to make whatever they want. Quick, streamlined license approval like that has been fast, furious, too much. It's too much compared to again what it was. Which again, these are expensive figures. So. You know what I mean? You're when you're getting every 3 months, you're dropping $300-400, but now it's double that. It's definitely double that.
It's more than double that. I mean, maybe we're a little bit skewed because of the sheer number of releases that we got for Star Wars in the month of May. I know I'm definitely feeling that way. I'm feeling like I have to constantly check myself and remind myself that we don't see this every month. It's just Star Wars month. But yeah, you're right. I mean, they're dipping out. They're dipping into the well a little bit too often. So I'm just grateful because when I looked at the release dates for some of these figures, because I've got to keep a calendar and I've got to know when my releases are expected, so that way I can cover off on everything. But the Darth Sidious, I think, is slated for September of 25. Like that's a year and a half out. Yeah, wow.
But that'll be one figure. That'll be one figure that'll be out early, probably. If you
so?
Probably because there's not much to it. It's all head sculpt. Everything else is body and robe. So it's not, there's nothing intricate to it. There's nothing fancy to it. There's nothing that they need to spend a lot of time, on with it. So I don't think that's going to be a figure that we're going to have to wait that long for. It'll come out very soon. But let me say hello real quickly to Thule. How are you, my friend?
Hey, Julie's here.
We also have the Nightmare in the house. How are you, my friend?
Hey.
Made it last minute. He says, since COVID Hot Toys has released more items each year, before COVID Hot Toys was already getting popularity that forced them to expand production. I mean, yeah, a lot of things happened, in 2020 that I feel were the catalyst for everything that's happening right now. And I'm yet to see what's, everybody was talking about how, they're making less and less and less, or they were going to start making less because, 2020 is already, those numbers, nobody's buying the same, blah, blah, blah. Well, here we are 2024 and they're just making more product than ever. So I don't think that's ever going to happen. I don't think they're ever going to slow down. And I told you guys that from the beginning. The moment they get going, they're going to get going. And like I said,
right, they have a factory and process that's just pumping. Like
exactly,
they don't want to slow it. They don't want to slow that machine.
Exactly, and not only that, but now with the hype of these limited figures, they got everybody on lockdown. Because everybody, even if you're not, so into the figure, you're going to want it. Number one, to resell it. Hope to resell it. Number two, hope to get it to maybe trade. And number three, you're not going to want to be the one without the exclusive figure that not everybody's going to get. Not
everybody.
Well, so most people go for them just to be able to say, I got one. You know what I mean?
Dude, you know what? That's true. That's
Absolutely.
super true. And you know what else is out there too that I don't think it's talked about? And I thought we were going to touch on this on the last show, but we didn't. I obviously with what I do, I'm chatting all day, on Facebook Messenger, but I had a number of people, I have people that just like to chat while they're waiting in queue. So we're talking back and forth. And a lot of these guys are they're winning positions. They get in the queue and they get into checkout and they're like, man, I was just after the thrill of the chase. It's like, now that I got it, I don't even know that I want the figure. Should I check out? It's like, yeah, check out and I'll reimburse you. I'll pay the retail on it. No sweat all day long. But it's funny to me because and I'm not talking about one or two people. I definitely got a handful of people that will jump in queue with me just to go ahead and chat about the figure and such. And then when they get it, they're like, it's like, I can pay it off now, or I can totally forget that it exists and I'm fine either way. So yeah, that's a thing too, man.
No,
it really,
absolutely.
really is.
And again, the reason I'm saying this now, I didn't notice it before, but the reason I'm saying it now is because I'm noticing it now. I'm noticing that a lot of people, again, figures that are that we got from Sideshow on the queue. Oh, I'm selling, and it's multiples, not just one, it's multiples. And they'll be in the groups asking for a ridiculous amount of money for these figures that, and this is where they're wrong, right? Depending on how desperate you are, you may find a buyer. The problem is people know the game and they will rather overspend, whether it's on eBay or with a reseller, over giving that much more extra money
somebody else,
a random person. Exactly. To a random person. Absolutely. So I've been noticing it. It's happening. So that's why I don't even bother getting multiples of these. Can I? Absolutely. But it's not worth it because nobody's going to want to pay you whatever the markup is. They'll go pay it on eBay. They'll go pay it anywhere else, but they won't pay it to you because you're a person, and they'll take it as you're making money. You're being a scalper, right?
Sure.
Off of me. And nobody wants to be that guy taking advantage of being taken advantage of by a scalper. So that's where they're like, nope, like I'm not buying it from you.
Really?
So,
you think that?
absolutely.
It's a little bit of a stretch, Mike, but I'm kind of on board with what he's saying.
Absolutely.
I've had a couple of run-ins with people, and the slightly different vein, but similarly, when Crosshairs, what was it? When the Umbra Trooper dropped, and people decided, oh man, I'll trade an Umbra for Crosshair, or I'll trade my Crosshair to get an Umbra. I was buying up Crosshairs, every single one I could get my hands on. And then, but when I listed them for sale, I would start catching hate over it. And I caught hate from people who regularly buy from me, people with snide comments in chat and stuff. So it got to the point to where I would throttle back. And maybe it's pretty specific because it was Crosshair. Like if it had been another figure, it probably wouldn't have been a big deal. But because I was snatching up Crosshairs and then flipping them right away, I had people out of the gate saying things like, "Hey man,
can you send me the names of the people who gave you hate over selling the Crosshairs figure?"
Well, we'll talk about that offline.
I would like.
There's this one guy named Fabio. It was like super.
I want their names. I mean, how corny is that to get your panties in a bunch?
Well, you know what I will say.
Brandon.
Wrong. No, I will say there were one or two that that I said that I reached out to behind closed doors, and I said, "Hey man, I really didn't appreciate the heat you went ahead and threw my way over this." And it turned out to be a nothing burger. But I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's like let's not.
That's just internal jealousy, though. Like what you know what I mean? Your butt hurt because you don't have the figure.
That's it.
Yeah, and it's like at the end of the day, a lot of times when you see things like that, and you see like those snide, shitty comments that people make on sales posts and whatnot, a lot of times it's the same people going, "Oh, this figure's trash. I can't see. These pictures suck. This is a hard pass for me." And then when it goes waitlist, it's like, "Yeah, I'm looking for one at a reasonable price."
Yeah, those people are immediately on my block list. If I see someone comment on what someone is selling their figure for, like that's an insane price. They're going for cheaper on eBay.
Yeah,
I talk to that human being in my life.
Yeah,
I'm never talking to that human being.
Because what do you? It's his figure. If he wants to list it for $10,000,
right,
jerk listed for that. We can all laugh at him. You don't have to go out and take your time to make a post about it, you jerk off.
Exactly.
This is Mike. This is Mike.
I hate that.
Oh man, no, but it's funny too because you get like I hold personally that I don't ignore or block people on Facebook unless they really they work at it. They have to work at it for me to wipe them out.
Oh no, it's very simple. I'll teach you.
But it is.
Yeah, that's not me. I mean,
but see, that's one of the things that I pride myself in, as a person, is that I can hold court with somebody who absolutely detests me, okay, or somebody who firmly disagrees with my stance on something, and as long as we're willing to talk like two human beings, we can continue to talk. We'll talk about it all day long. We'll work our way through it. But the instant it turns into throwing mud and getting out of control, then it's like, okay, you're done. I don't need that type of negativity.
Nightmare says, I have had people send me hate just because of my collection. People make comments about how they cannot get a 501st Clone Trooper because I bought them all.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
How many do you have?
All of them. Yes. How many does he have? Yes, that's how many.
Oh my! That's how many. Yes.
Look at it. Those are the same guys that put the post up. I'm looking for a clone trooper at a reasonable price. What?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean reasonable?
Okay. Okay. So check this out. So I started a chain letter, right? Because I was flipping so many figs, and I was also traveling state to state for work. So I wrote this chain letter that was basically, it was something that I would smuggle into packages that I was sending people, right? So somebody bought these parts or that parts or whatever, and I would smuggle this chain letter in, and it would be like in a Ziploc bag with a little minifig or something, and it would be like this chain, just your standard chain letter shit, but it was all 1/6 themed. And at the bottom it said, and if you do not pass this chain letter on to your very next sale, may you be cursed and have to sell your entire collection at a reasonable price. And it's just like the funniest thing, because I started doing that like a year and a half ago because I thought it was funnier than shit. I thought it was this great idea that I had. And I've actually gotten those chain letters back to me from people who had no clue that I was the one who wrote them. So,
all right. So guys, Carlos, hello, my friend. Welcome. I thought we were going to almost leave without saying hello to you. Thank you for making it.
Charlie, my friend, Charlie Brigante, how you doing?
Carlos showed up just in time for the most important segment of the show. It's going to be a quick one.
Go ahead.
It's going to be a quick one. Are we ready?
Go ahead.
I'm going to send you this link, Fabs. If you could go ahead and drop it in the YouTube chat so people can click on it. So this is a site that was turned over to me by a friend, and I thought, I've seen these sites a million times. They're complete bullshit. It never works the way that they say it's going to work. I just got my first payout from this site, and it absolutely works the way that they say that it does. Now, the reason that I'm sharing this is because this is one of those sites where you go there. It's like it's a search engine for when you're doing any type of retail shopping. You search for the name of the company that you want to shop from, and then you click their link, and you get a percentage back on whatever you spend on that site. Again, I always felt like it was bullshit. I would never get involved in any of this. So I checked this one out, and Sideshow is on there. Okay, so I'm figuring, when Sideshow does those big sales, like the mix and match with 4 or 6 figures and so on, like I get in on all those all the time because sometimes, all the time it makes sense. So with the May the 4th sale, I jumped in on the mix and match like 3 different times for figures. And I used that link each time. And not only did it give me the extra 5% that they advertised, but then they gave me a bonus for revisiting the same vendor again. I got a grand total of like 15% back on my purchase just through this site. Okay, that doesn't count the rewards that I got from Sideshow. It doesn't count anything else. That link and that site absolutely works. Now, yes, is it my referral code? Yeah, all day long. I'm not going to bullshit about that. But it actually works. So I want to share it with people out there in the community. It's definitely going to be going on the Zapco site so that way more people can see it. Again, this one works, so I put it out there. And that was the most important segment of the show. Thank you all for coming. Save the link, bookmark it.
Lou Figure, welcome for being here, guys. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.